Chapter 182. In the arena, looking at Tang Ao's resentful gaze, Hua Zipping was very satisfied. In his opinion, Tang Ao must have sensed the pollen in his body. Everyone who fought with him would have the same expression when they noticed that the pollen had accumulated in their bodies. Some cowards would even kneel down and beg for mercy. But now that the battle had developed to this point, he would definitely not allow his opponent to live. In Hua Zipping's understanding, this pollen could not be removed from the body at all. A year ago, Ouyang Chulian, who had fought with him, had suppressed all the spirit energy in his body to his left arm in order to survive. As a result, he had lost an arm to preserve his life. As for Fang Xiuwu, who was ranked 7th on the Dragon and Phoenix roll, he had severed the connection between him and the surrounding spirit energy the moment he had inhaled the pollen. He had relied on his remaining spirit energy to defeat himself. But there were very few perception-type warriors like Fang Xiuwu. Therefore, his purple radish moon life soul rarely failed. As for Dong Xinyi, who was ranked 1st on the Dragon and Phoenix roll, he was too strong, terrifyingly strong. After both of them had gone on stage, he had been severely injured by Dong Xinyi in just a breath's time. He hadn't even summoned his life soul. After that battle, he understood why his elder brother had died at Dong Xinye's hands. In Hua Zipping's opinion, the above 3 methods were the only known methods to deal with the purple moon life soul. At this point, Tang Ao could not use the second and third methods. As for the first method, with Ouyang Chulian's lesson, Hua Zipping would not allow Tang Ao to use it. Hua Zipping suddenly formed a hand seal, and a strange wave instantly swept through the entire arena. At the same time, the pollen floating in the arena also released a terrifying wave of energy. Luo Tsai looked at the spirit light 1,000 leaves willow tied to her body and almost fainted from anger. Fang Xiuling, didn't you say that you would definitely stop the purple moon life soul? Luo Tsai stared at Fang Xiuling with her beautiful eyes. Sister Tsai, I'm sorry. The spirit light 1,000 leaves willow has no suppressive effect. But I will kill Hua Zipping and avenge Tang Ao, Fang Xiuling said with a firm gaze. Fang Xiuwu clicked his tongue. I'm afraid we can only build a cenotaph for him after he inhaled so much pollen. On the other side of the arena, Ouyang Chulian could not help but tremble when he saw the blooming pollen. A year ago, if he had made even the slightest mistake, he would have been reduced to ashes. And now, it was too late for Tang Ao to use his previous method to save his life. What made everyone dumbfounded was that after the terrifying wave of spiritual power completely disappeared, Tang Ao was still standing there with a smile. What's going on? Impossible, absolutely impossible. Ouyang Chulian's face was filled with disbelief. As expected of the enemy that Xiaohou Linyuan had named to deal with. Interesting. Ouyang Duan looked at Tang Ao, who was still standing firm in the midst of Hua Zipping's strange pollen, and couldn't help but feel interested. On the branch, the 3 Fang brothers and Luo Tsai were also dumbfounded. Second brother, are you purposely exaggerating the power of this pollen to cover up your pathetic state back then? Back then, Hua Zipping had encountered Dong Xinyi in the top 20 competition and was severely injured by Dong Xinyi on the spot. Therefore, only Fang Xiuwu and Hua Zipping had fought. That can't be. With the accumulation of pollen to this extent, even Dong Xinyi has no reason not to die, right? Even though the truth was right in front of him, Fang Xiuwu still had a look of disbelief. To Fang Xiuwu, who had personally experienced the power of the life soul pollen of the purple radish rose flower, what was happening in front of him was too unbelievable. Aya, Huahua's secret technique has failed. My heart aches for Huahua. Even such a secret technique has failed. Tang Ao must have used some unorthodox method. Otherwise, how could Huahua's secret technique not work? Damn it. Watch how I teach him a lesson in the next battle. Hearing this young girl's words, the group of young girls immediately looked at her. Senior Sister Neo Rome, we'll leave everything to you. All of our sisters who support Huahua will support you too. Meanwhile, the group of male disciples was confused. To them, who did not understand Hua Zipping's secret technique. They had no idea what had just happened. Did something happen just now? Tang Ao and Hua Zipping don't seem to have made a move. Why do you care so much? Jeer first. Junior brother Tang Ao, teach him a good lesson. Hua Zipping tui trash. Boss, use your shoe to slap him. Slap him hard. Hearing the rising and falling waves below, Hua Zipping's expression gradually turned cold. Although I don't know what method you used, you've successfully angered me. The way you died just now was not only comfortable, but also pleasing to the eye. Looks like you don't want to die comfortably. At this moment, the 7-kill art in Tang Ao's body could already be released, but Tang Ao was still slowly condensing it. This time, he was prepared to condense the 7-kill art to its limit before releasing it. That way, even if someone came to disturb him, this bastard in human form would have to repay the blood debt he had. Tang Ao die. Hua Zipping no longer cared about his image. He grabbed the purple rose life soul floating behind him and charged straight at Tang Ao. The purple radish rose, which was originally just a bud, gradually bloomed in Hua Zipping's hands. A terrifying fluctuation of spiritual power gradually spread out from the purple radish rose, and Tang Ao's eyes flashed. 7 slaughter art, break for me. Accompanied by a momentum that could topple the mountains and overturn the seas, a palm that shook the heavens and the earth blasted out, colliding with the purple radish rose. Under the extreme circulation of the 7-kill slaughter art, the moon-purple vine flowers' powerful spiritual energy fluctuations crumbled inch by inch and turned into countless fragments. At the same time, Tang Ao's palm also landed on Hua Zipping's body. 7 streams of light filled with a desolate killing intent instantly rushed into Hua Zipping's body, strangling him tens of thousands of times. Except for the outer appearance of the skin, everything in Hua Zipping's body turned into nothingness. When he was alive, he liked to explode pollen in his opponent's body to kill people. In the end, he also experienced this feeling. Only when he died did he understand that this way of dying was not comfortable, nor would it look good, because he could no longer see it. After Hua Zipping died, the purple pollen that covered the arena instantly disappeared. And in the depths of the eyes of the surrounding girls, a strange purple spot of light had also completely disappeared. Senior Sister Lin, why do I feel a little dizzy? Me too. I remember that I came to watch Senior Brother Hua Zipping's match, but I forgot why I came. Then let's go back. Junior Sister Zhao, my body is also a little uncomfortable. Let's go back. Yes, my head is also a little dizzy. Not long after, the group of female disciples left one after another, leaving the group of male disciples looking at each other beside the arena. Seeing that Tang Ao had actually killed Hua Zipping in the end, Fang Xiu laughed loudly and said, "That's right. Sister Tsai's eyes are really good." This Tang Ao really did not disappoint Sister Tsai. That's right. Sister Tsai's eyes are really good. This Tang Ao really did not disappoint Sister Tsai. Fang Xiuling rarely agreed with Fang Xiuwu's opinion. Then why haven't you put away the spirit, light, 1,000-leaf willow that bound me? Luo Tsai said unhappily. Chapter 183. As soon as Fang Xiuling let go of Luo Tsai, he realized that the spirit light 1,000 leaves willow had actually tied up the 3 of them. Fang Xiuling was anxious. Big brother, why is my spirit light 1,000 leaves willow not listening to me? Fang Xiuling struggled, but couldn't break free. Third brother, don't waste your energy. We were hit by Junior Sister Tsai's secret technique. The spirit light 1,000 leaves willow on our bodies is just an illusion, but we are trapped in the technique and can't break free. Then, Sister Tsai, quickly help me. You're my biological sister. Hearing Fang Xiuling's words, Fang Xiuwen and Fang Xiuwu were stunned at first, but then they felt that Fang Xiuling's words were very reasonable. Once Luo Tsai married one of them, she would really be Fang Xiuling's biological sister. Luo Tsai flicked Fang Xiuling's head angrily. You little bastard, you're not only evil but also so stupid. You deserve to be hung here. At this time tomorrow, the secret technique will be undone. The three of you should properly build up your brotherhood. After speaking, Luo Tsai flew far away and ignored the three of them. Actually, the secret technique would be undone in 2 hours. The reason why she said it would be undone tomorrow was to scare the three of them. However, not long after Luo Tsai left, Fang Xiuling patted the willow that was tied up on his body and stood up under the shocked gazes of Fang Xiuwen and Fang Xiuwu. Third brother, you weren't hit by junior sister Tsai's secret technique? Fang Xiuwu asked in disbelief. Of course. Do you think I don't know sister Tsai's temper? I have been guarding against her for a long time. Fang Xiuwu nodded. Third brother's words are not unreasonable. After speaking, Fang Xiuwu slowly stood up and stretched. Sigh, I say, why are the two of you so smart? As Fang Xiuwen spoke, the willow on his body gradually disappeared. The three brothers were actually not hit this time. Ah, big brother, second brother, why didn't you get hit? Even you didn't get hit. How could we be hit by junior sister Tsai's phantom secret technique? While the three of them were arguing endlessly, Luo Tsai and Tang Ao had already arrived at a small path down the mountain. Next would be the finals for the top 10 of the Dragon and Phoenix rankings. However, the finals would only be held 3 days later. In these 3 days, Tang Ao planned to go down the mountain with Luo Tsai to have some fun. Within a room within the inner sect of the Seven Kills sect, Ouyang Duan was holding onto a jade cup as he savored the fine wine within. Third brother, are we still going to do what Xiaoho Linyuan asked us to do? Ouyang Qilian asked bitterly. After taking a sip, Ouyang Duan said very confidently, of course I will. Once we're done, House Xiao Starpoint Whip and Crepe Myrtle Destiny Dao Physique will be mine. Hearing Ouyang Duan's words, Ouyang Qilian's expression turned even uglier. But third brother, from the looks of it now, among all of us brothers, only you and I will be able to take down Tang Ao. Then you go. The Starpoint Whip is yours. I'll play with the Crepe Myrtle Destiny Dao Physique first. You'll have a share as well. Also, I'll bring my Scorpion God Knight with you. Once we're done, it'll belong to you. Ouyang Qilian, who was originally hesitant, nodded with a dark look in his eyes after hearing the many benefits. Over the past year, due to some fortuitous encounters, Ouyang Qilian's strength had already entered the top 10 of the Dragon and Phoenix rankings. Even if he were to face Hua Zipping, he was confident that he could kill Hua Zipping while retreating unscathed. Although Tang Ao could kill Hua Zipping, it was because of the power of the 7-kill slaughtering art that he had mastered. However, the activation speed of the 7-kill slaughtering art was extremely slow. It was impossible for Tang Ao to use the 7-kill slaughtering art against him. Now, not only had his strength greatly improved, but he also had the help of Ouyang Duan's Scorpion God Knight. As long as he was careful, killing Tang Ao would be a piece of cake. Scorpion God Knight and the Star-Pointed Whip were rare treasures. The Crepe Myrtle Dao body was a dual cultivation body that could only be found and not sought. Even if it was secondhand, it was not something that Ouyang Qilian could be picky about. At that moment, one of Ouyang Duan's lackeys walked in. Sir Duan, the Tang Ao that you told me to keep an eye on just went down the mountain. Ouyang Duan drank the wine in the jade cup in one gulp. Are you sure you didn't see wrongly? Tang Ao really went down the mountain? Sir Duan, it is absolutely true. I personally saw Tang Ao at the waist of the mountain. Right now, I'm afraid that he has already reached the foot of the mountain. Good, very good. If you obediently stayed on the mountain, I would have to think twice before taking care of you. Right now, since you went down the mountain to die, don't blame me. Hearing Ouyang Duan's words, Ouyang Qilian panicked. Third brother, why do you need to personally take care of a mere 5th level of the Origin Realm? I'll go. But fourth brother, after all, that brat has mastered the 7-kill slaughtering technique. It's better if you go. Since the Dragon and Phoenix ranking battle was imminent, naturally, Ouyang Duan would not personally take care of Tang Ao. However, his fourth brother was naturally suspicious. Although he promised him many benefits, it was very possible that he would not put in the effort and in the end, ruin his plans. Third brother, you worry too much. With the Scorpion God Knight that you gave me, Why would I be afraid of Tang Ao's 7-kill slaughtering technique? I will definitely be able to make Tang Ao disappear from this world without anyone knowing. Okay, since fourth brother has the heart, I won't stop you. I'll also ask Ouyang to help you. You must succeed. Third brother, don't worry. I'll go back and prepare. I'll leave immediately. 3 days later, Tang Ao will definitely not appear on the stage for the top 10 of the Dragon and Phoenix ranking. Okay, Ouyang Duan poured a cup of wine for Ouyang Chilian. Then, he took out a black leaf with a scorpion pattern from a storage ring and gave it to Ouyang Chilian. At this time, Tang Ao and Luo Tsai had already arrived at the foot of the mountain. As for the threat that was about to arrive, Tang Ao did not have the slightest awareness. There are only 3 days until the finals of the Dragon and Phoenix ranking. Junior Tang Ao, are you not going to prepare? There's no need to prepare. Other than the first and second place of the top 10 of the Dragon and Phoenix ranking, the rest are really not that challenging. The others aren't that challenging, Tang Ao said seriously. After Tang Ao finished speaking, Luo Tsai looked at him with disdain. Keep bragging. You've only defeated Hua Zipping, who is ranked 11th on the Dragon and Phoenix ranking, and you're already so cocky. I'm just confident. If we really fight, you, who is ranked 4th on the Dragon and Phoenix ranking, might not be able to defeat me, Tang Ao said after sizing up Luo Tsai. Okay, then let's give it a try. After Luo Tsai finished speaking, she threw a punch at Tang Ao. However, Tang Ao reached out with lightning speed and grabbed her hand. Pervert, you said you would protect me. You're bullying me again. Luo Tsai struggled, but she could not break free from Tang Ao's hand. When she was still trying to pull away, Tang Ao suddenly let go of her wrist. Luo Tsai could not retract her strength in time and fell backwards. However, before she fell to the ground, Tang Ao hugged her waist again. Luo Tsai was ashamed and angry. Just as she was about to struggle, Luo Tsai's beautiful eyes suddenly blinked. Then, Tang Ao's vision turned black. His body went limp and he fell down. Chapter 184. Clear Spring Town was the closest town to the Seven Kills sect. When the disciples of the Seven Kills sect were tired from training in the sect, they would always go to the town to play in groups of 3 or 5. Different from other towns, Clear Spring Town was located at the intersection of several official roads, so the town was unusually prosperous. Caravans traveling from the south to the north would also temporarily purchase and sell goods in Clear Spring Town when they rested. Thus, in Clear Spring Town, one could see many rare things that could not be seen or seen in other places. Tang Ao was the young lord of the city and grew up in the city lord's mansion freely. He had seen many things and was not curious about them. However, Luo Tsai was different. After a short conversation with Luo Tsai, Tang Ao knew that it was the first time she came out of the sect. In the past, she had been training hard in the sect and did not know that there was such a fun place under the Seven Kills sect. After landing in the town's trading area, Luo Tsai was extremely excited. She went to see the Nanli Nation's unique cloud brocade, and then went to see the performance of the Sheen Nation's demonic beasts. These demonic beasts were domesticated and raised for several generations. Although they had the appearance of demonic beasts, they were no different from ordinary poultry. After walking for a while, Tang Ao really did not want to walk anymore. Junior Tsai, do you see the tallest Clear Spring restaurant not far ahead? Luo Tsai looked in the direction Tang Ao pointed. Yes, I see it. I'm going to Clear Spring restaurant to order a table of food. When you're done playing, come to the 3rd floor of the Clear Spring restaurant to find me. After Tang Ao finished speaking, he found that Luo Tsai had already run to the Yunhua Nation's jade ornaments to buy wantonly. As an inner-sect disciple of the Seven Kills sect, she naturally did not lack money. However, he did not know if she heard what he said clearly. Luo Tsai was an expert at the peak of the 9th level of the Origin Martial Realm. Most of the people in this town were ordinary people. Even if there were martial artists in the caravans, they were only at the body refinement realm. Hence, there should be no existence in this town that could threaten her. At most, she would be cheated of some money by the black-hearted merchants. Moreover, this situation had happened many times when she was buying the golden hairpin and jade bracelet. Every floor of the Clear Spring restaurant had a different spending standard, but for the wealthy Tang Ao, there wasn't much of a difference. However, when Tang Ao walked to the second floor and was about to go to the third floor, he was stopped by someone. "Sir, please wait. The third floor of the Clear Spring restaurant has been booked by our young master. If you want a drink, please go to the first and second floor." A middle-aged man in a white shirt and a black collar with a long saber on his waist stopped in front of Tang Ao. This was not the first time that Tang Ao had come to this Clear Spring restaurant. In the past, every time Tang Ao went down the mountain to train, he would come here to drink a cup or two. He had never heard of this Clear Spring restaurant having a private room. This time, the Dragon and Phoenix rankings were around the corner, so he purposely came down the mountain to relax. He did not expect that the third floor, which he frequented, would not allow him to come up. Just as Tang Ao was considering finding an empty table on the second floor, a fat middle-aged man with a mustache rolled down the stairs of the third floor. Seeing this person, Tang Ao was stunned because this person was the shopkeeper of the Clear Spring restaurant, Wu Yukai. Wu Yukai was like a meatball as he rolled down the long stairs. Looking at his figure, if there was no one to stop him when he fell to the second floor, he would definitely create a hole in the floor. Just as Wu Yukai was about to fiercely hit the floor, Tang Ao used the spirit energy in his hand to pull him up. Chapter 185. Without waiting for Tang Ao and Wu Yukai to speak, a feminine voice came down from the third floor. "It's your fortune that our young Master Murong has taken a liking to your lousy restaurant. You actually said that this restaurant doesn't have a reservation rule. Are you looking to die?" Wu Yukai was quite frightened by this guard, but he still said with an ugly expression, "Sir, my Wu clan has managed this Clear Spring restaurant for 3 generations. It has always been a rule that we don't reserve the entire restaurant. It's not aimed at you, sirs." As a businessman, his reputation and rules couldn't be broken. Clear Spring Town was located at the intersection of the Six Nations official roads. Merchants traveling from south to north all had to rest in his Clear Spring restaurant. These merchants were generous and left in a hurry. Soon, they would be able to empty seats for newcomers to sit in. Thus, the Wu clan's ancestors set the rule that Clear Spring restaurant didn't reserve the entire restaurant. This seemed like a loss of money, but the gain was even greater. Wu Yukai had been operating here for 20 years. How could he not know? What if our young Master Murong insists on reserving the entire restaurant? That's right, you guys chase out the rest of the commoners. I remember that young master said he wanted to reserve the entire Clear Spring restaurant. Hearing Wu Yotsai's words, the bearded man who seemed to be the leader said arrogantly, but his words were very effective. After he finished speaking, the guards began to clear out the customers. Most of these customers were ordinary people passing by. Although they didn't dare to make a move against the Murong family's guards, they still grumbled a few words. "What are you guys doing? Can't you be reasonable? I still haven't finished eating. At least let me finish my meal before leaving." This group of dogs that rely on their master's power. They can't even eat in peace. Ordinary people would only grumble a few words, but there were some cultivators in the caravans. On the second floor, 3 men and 2 women were eating at a table near the window. Suddenly, the dishes on the table were flipped to the ground by the Murong family's guards. "Today, Clear Spring Restaurant has been reserved by our young Master Murong. If you guys want to eat, then scram and eat somewhere else." As soon as the Murong family's guard finished speaking, one of the 5 people who had taken their seats, a sturdy man who looked like an iron tower, stood up. "Mother Kerr, our Cloudwater Chamber of Commerce has traveled all over the world for so many years, and there has never been anyone who could make us lose our meals." Seeing the burly man getting angry, a young woman among the 5 said, "Big brother Hukai, forget it. We can eat somewhere else. Miss, our Cloudwater Chamber of Commerce has always been one to not offend others if they don't offend us. These bastards want to stir up trouble. We can't let them off easily." Bai Yinxi knew Hukai's temper. This time, she really didn't want Hukai to stir up trouble here. Without waiting for Bai Yunxin to dissuade him again, the Murong family's guard became angry as well. How dare you scold your grandfather? You bastard! Are your dog eyes blind? Don't you know who your grandfather is? As the guard spoke, he took out a snow-white jade pendant engraved with the word Murong from his waist. However, the scene of him being scared witless did not happen. Instead, a fist the size of a bowl kept enlarging in his eyes. Bang! It was as if he had smashed a watermelon with his palm when buying it. Fortunately, Hukai had reserved his strength for this punch, and the Murong family's lackey's head was sturdy enough. Hukai's punch only caused the lackey to see stars and roll on the ground. Chapter 186. With Tang Ao's eyesight, he could tell at a glance that Hukai was a warrior at the 6th level of the body-tempering realm. As for the Murong family guard that Hukai had knocked to the ground, he was only a rookie who had just stepped into the 3rd level of the body-tempering realm. Furthermore, most of the guards were at the 3rd or 4th level of the body-tempering realm. With just these guards, it was really not enough to fight. However, the bearded man who had spoken arrogantly was a warrior at the 9th level of the body-tempering realm. Once that person attacked, it would probably be difficult for Hukai and company to leave this place today. Seeing Hukai knock a guard to the ground with a punch, the maidservant beside by Yunshin was amused. Brother Hukai, well done. You just want to teach these bastards a lesson. Everyone is here to eat, but they won't let others eat. Little Red, don't say any more. Bai Yunshin stopped Little Red as she hurriedly took out 10 silver coins and handed them to the guard who had been knocked to the ground by Hukai. Brother, my guard was rude. This money is for you to treat your injuries. However, the guard grabbed Bai Yunshin's wrist. I don't know why, but when I saw him miss, my injuries were all healed. Although he had been knocked to the ground by Hukai, the guard still fearlessly grabbed Bai Yunshin with his large hand. Bai Yunshin's wrist was grabbed by him, but she couldn't dodge. Brat, you're courting death. How dare you tease my Mississippi? As Hukai spoke, he threw a punch at Murong Ying's head. It was different from the previous punch. This punch was unleashed by Hukai in a rage, and he used all his strength. However, Hukai's ferocious punch was unable to advance any further. His wrist had already been grabbed by a bearded man. Upon seeing this scene, Murong Ying scoffed. Lu Huzi, at least you have a good eye. No matter how unsightly I am, my surname is still Murong. After Hukai was grabbed by Lu Huzi, a 5th firmament black-brown bear life soul attached to Hukai's body. With a shake of his wrist, Hukai broke free from Lu Huzi and pulled Bai Yunshin behind him. When Lu Huzi saw Hukai summon his life soul, he also used his own life soul. One was the fire mastiff life soul from the 4th firmament, and the other was the long-whiskered grass life soul from the 6th firmament. After summoning the life souls, the battle between the two sides was on the verge of breaking out. However, anyone with a discerning eye could tell that Hukai was no match for Lu Huzi. Regardless of the number or quality of the life souls, Lu Huzi was clearly superior to Hukai. Heavens, Deputy Commander Lu has actually awakened a 2nd life soul. If I'm not wrong, Deputy Commander Lu seems to have advanced to the 9th level of the body refining realm. 9th level of the body refining realm? From now on, Deputy Commander Lu will be Commander Lu. Apart from the Cloudwater Chamber of Commerce, there were also people from other chambers of commerce present. Just now, when they saw that Hukai was at a disadvantage, they wanted to help him. After all, they had been traveling the world for many years, so they more or less had some friendship with the various chambers of commerce. But after seeing that Lu Huzi was actually at the 9th level of the body refining realm, these people immediately put down their previous thoughts. The 9th level of the body refining realm was already in existence that these merchant associations could only look up to. Perhaps even the outer sect disciples of some large sects were only at this level, and among them, the strongest was only at the 7th level of the body refining realm. Chapter 187. In the middle of the crowd, Hukai was being played around by the fire hyenas. The wounds on his body were increasing, and drops of scarlet blood were sprinkled all over the floor around him. Although everyone couldn't bear it, no one dared to speak up for Hukai. Bai Yunshin's eyes turned red, and tears flowed out. She hurriedly ran to Mu Rong Ying. Young Master Mu Rong, please let go of Brother Hukai. We will compensate you however much money you want. Mu Rongying was thinking about how to get Bai Yunxin in a while, but he didn't expect Bai Yunxin to deliver herself to him. Looking at Hu Kai being beaten half to death by Lu Huzi, Mu Rongying no longer had any scruples. An evil light flashed in his eyes, revealing endless desire. Looking at the little beauty who kept walking towards him, Mu Rongying swallowed his saliva. Bai Yunxin walked in front of Mu Rongying and was pulled over by Mu Rongying. In Bai Yunxin's horrified eyes, Mu Rongying's claws grabbed the soft parts of her body. But when Mu Rongying's hand stretched out halfway, he suddenly lost feeling. Mu Rongying was very puzzled. My hand, that hand is redundant for you. I'll cut it off for you, Tang Ao said indifferently. It was as if he were speaking of a commonplace matter which had nothing to do with him. However, everyone present knew that this matter was definitely not ordinary. Although they didn't know what kind of behemoth the Mu Rong family was, Lu Huzi, who was at the 9th level of the body refining realm, was not easy to deal with. Looking at Tang Ao, who was less than 20 years old, everyone had the same thought in their hearts. This kid is dead. After Tang Ao sent out a green lotus sword chi to cut off Mu Rongying's perverted hand, he protected Bai Yunxin behind him. This simple-minded and kind-hearted girl was too similar to Qin Yueru in the past. It was as if it had completely evoked the sad and gentle memories in the depths of Tang Ao's heart. Because the green lotus sword chi was too sharp, Mu Rongying let out a scream like a pig being slaughtered. Lu Huzi, who was fighting with Hu Kai on the side, also noticed the situation here, but when he saw Mu Rongying's right hand being cut off, Lu Huzi's head buzzed. Although this Mu Rongying was just trash at the 3rd level of the body refining realm, it was as he had said. No matter how weak he was still a Mu Rong. Besides, Mu Rongying was not just an ordinary concubine's descendant in the Murong family. He was a legitimate descendant of the direct line of descent. It was just that his cultivation talent was too useless, so he was made the commander of the Imperial bodyguards. Because he was worried that his strength was too low, he arranged for him to be his assistant. On the surface, it was to help him manage the group of guards, but in reality, it was to protect this little devil in secret. At that moment, Mu Rongying's hand had been chopped off under his watch. Lu Huzi felt as if the sky had collapsed. Ah! Lu Huzi roared and kicked Hu Kai to the ground with a kick that could split gold and stone. Hu Kai's chest instantly caved in. Apparently, several of his ribs were broken. Lu Huzi's aura also instantly rose to the level of the 1st level of the Origin Realm. Lu Huzi, who had his aura explosively increased, looked at Tang Ao with a ferocious gaze as he walked over, as if he wanted to tear Tang Ao apart alive. At that moment, Lu Huzi had such a thought in his heart. Only by letting Tang Ao die like this would the Murong family be satisfied, and the Murong family's punishment towards him would be lighter. Chapter 188. Bastard. Today, I'll make you regret being born into this world. After stopping the bleeding from Mu Rongying's broken arm, Lu Huzi took out a long blade from his storage ring. Sigh, this boy failed to save the beauty. He's going to die here today. That Lu Huzi is actually an expert at the 1st level of the Origin Realm. The Murong family really has a deep foundation. We can't afford to offend them. What a pity. This boy is going to die here at such a young age. Looking at his courage, I even intended to make him my son-in-law. Seeing that there's no spirit power fluctuation on that boy, he shouldn't have entered the body refinement realm, right? I think he'll be chopped to death by Lu Huzi. He'll probably be chopped in half, right? This is too bloody, too violent. What can we do? Who told him to stick his head out for no reason? Bai Yunxin also knew that this matter wouldn't end well. Tang Ao had provoked the Murong family because he wanted to save her, so she couldn't implicate Tang Ao. Thinking to that point, Bai Yunxin walked to Mu Rongying's side. Sir Mu Rong, please let go of brother Hu Kai and this gentleman. I'm willing to serve you for a lifetime. Please let them go. After Mu Rongying lost an arm, he was furious. In the past, he had defiled countless women, but he had never paid such a heavy price. At that moment, not only did he hate Tang Ao, He was also thinking about how to torture Bai Yunxin. He did not expect that woman to come over again. Mu Rongying took out a dagger from somewhere and stabbed it towards Bai Yunxin's eyes. Although Mu Rongying was trash, he was still a martial artist at the third level of the body refinement realm. The speed of his attack was astonishing. Hu Kai wanted to save him, but it was already too late. Although the others could not bear it, they did not dare to offend Mu Rongying and the others who were in the origin realm. Looking at the dagger that was instantly in front of her eyes, Bai Yunxin screamed and fainted. But at that moment, a boom sound rang out. It was Tang Ao who punched Mu Rongying into the floor of the Clear Spring restaurant. Tang Ao used the 7-kill art of the 7-kill slaughtering in that punch. Mu Rongying, who was embedded in the floor, naturally became a pile of unrecognizable flesh. After cultivating the 7-kill slaughter art, Tang Ao could subtly sense the other party's resentment when they came into contact. This resentment was accumulated when Mu Rongying slaughtered innocent people. There were more than 800 strands of resentment on Mu Rongying's body, which meant that Mu Rongying had taken more than 800 innocent lives. It wouldn't be too much to kill such scum. The onlookers couldn't help but sigh when they saw this scene. Too bloody. There were also a few people who couldn't bear to see Bai Yunxin's eyeballs being picked out by Mu Rongying, so they didn't look over. How is the girl? Are her eyes red? You said it was too bloody just now. Could it be? That must be it. This girl is in the prime of her life, yet she met with such an unexpected disaster. What a pity, what a pity. Hearing that these people seemed to have misunderstood, the person who first spoke said again, "It's that brat's attack just now was too bloody. He hit people all over the floor." Lu Huzi was dumbfounded when he saw Mu Rongying being killed by Tang Ao. "Bastard, I'll tear you apart alive." After Lu Huzi finished speaking, he threw his long blade and rushed forward. Since he doesn't use a blade, why did he take it out just now? Yeah, is there something wrong with this person's head? He took the blade out just to throw it away? Could it be that Origin Realm experts have such poise? Don't you guys find it strange? That Mu Rongying was a martial artist at the third level of the body refinement realm. How could he be killed so easily? It seems like that brat has some strength. I heard shopkeeper Wu say that this person seems to be called Tang Ao. Right now, it's useless no matter what he's called. In front of an Origin Realm martial artist, his little bit of strength, TSK. I'm afraid that the following scene will be even more bloody. Just now, Lu Huzi said that he was going to tear him apart alive. I'm already old, so I won't watch such a hot-blooded scene. Chapter 189. Lu Huzi was reminded of Master Murong's teachings when he saw Mu Rongying's tragic death. Even if it's a dog of the Murong clan, not just anyone can beat it. The distance between Lu Huzi and Tang Ao was getting closer and closer. Lu Huzi had already felt the long-beard serene grass's desire for nutrients in Tang Ao's body. His martial Dao talent was very ordinary, and the reason why he could enter the Origin Realm was because of the long-beard nether grass. Every time the long-whiskered serene grass devoured the nutrients of others, it would feed back a portion of the nutrients to itself. He used that characteristic of the long-whiskered nether grass, and after killing who knows how many people, he finally broke into the Origin Realm. After breaking into the Origin Realm, he changed from the original principle of killing if he had to the principle of killing if he wanted to. In order to improve his strength, he would even secretly kill some people who looked good. Of all the people he had killed, he had obtained nutrients from their bodies. This was the first time the long-bearded serene grass showed such a desire. It seemed that this person's nutrients must be very good. Thinking of this, a bloodthirsty impulse emerged in Lu Huzi's eyes. He grabbed Tang Ao's heart with his right hand. The heart was the most nutritious place, so he liked to start eating from the most delicious place. But at this time, Tang Ao also moved. A palm with earth-shattering momentum instantly slapped Lu Huzi's body. Lu Huzi immediately flew out, and then exploded into a cloud of blood mist in the air. He died without leaving any residue. How is that possible? The surrounding customers were shocked. that Lu Huzi was an expert of the origin realm, yet he was so easily killed. Wu Yotsai's face was filled with disbelief. That's it. Huge waves rose in Hu Kai's heart. The origin realm martial artist that he always looked up to was so easily killed by someone. Am I seeing things correctly? The origin realm vice commander Lu was killed by someone? A Murong family guard trembled as he said. Also, I think I saw that he was killed with a single palm strike. There must be something wrong with my eyes. After Tang Ao used the 7-kill slaughter art to kill Lu Huzi, Bai Yunxin also woke up. However, Bai Yunxin did not dare to open her eyes. Her frail body was still trembling uncontrollably. It was obvious that he remembered the dagger that Murong Ying had used to stab his eyes. My eyes really can't see anything, Bai Yunxin said sadly. Tang Ao was speechless as he looked at Bai Yunxin, whose eyes were tightly shut. Isn't this nonsense? Who can see with their eyes closed? It's all right now. Looking at her pitiful appearance, Tang Ao's heart warmed, and he softly said, Yeah, it's all right now. I won't be able to see anything I want to see anymore. Bai Yunxin was still lying on the ground. Her voice was a little bitter. Tang Ao was speechless. He reached out and picked her up. When you open your eyes, you're fine. Open your eyes, open your eyes. Bai Yunxin seemed to have thought of something. Her beautiful eyes slowly opened, and then Tang Ao's warm smile appeared in front of her. Seeing that her eyes could still see, Bai Yunxin was extremely happy. She immediately hugged Tang Ao. Tang Ao was stunned and didn't know where to put his hands. Finally, with a howl, he placed his hand on Bai Yunxin's back. Chapter 190. Brother Tang Ao, you're in big trouble. The Murong clan is one of the 6 great clans of the primordial era. After Tang Ao killed Murong Ying and Lu Huzi, the shopkeeper of the Clear Spring restaurant, Wu Yukai, finally came back to his senses. He also remembered what kind of people the Murong clan was. In the northern part of the continent, there were 6 great clans. They were collectively known as the clans of the primordial era. The Murong clan was one of the 6 great clans. Tang Ao had killed a member of the Murong clan, so he and the Murong clan were mortal enemies. Shopkeeper Wu, you must be joking. I only killed a few lowlifes. From Tang Ao's point of view, these people from the Murong clan were just a bunch of lowly scum. Their spiritual energy was weak, and their martial skills were full of loopholes. Yet, they still dared to bully others and tyrannize their women. Moreover, the 2 of them had a lot of blood on their hands. Killing them was not an exaggeration. In Tang Ao's eyes, Murong Ying and Lu Huzi were lowlifes. However, the spectators did not dare to think that way. Putting aside Murong Ying, who was only in the 3rd layer of the body-tempering realm, Lu Huzi was a true cultivator of the origin realm. Yet such a cultivator was called lowlifes. Everyone felt that either Tang Ao had a terrifying background or he was too young and ignorant. However, from what Tang Ao had just done, it was obvious that the former was more likely to be the case. From her point of view, Tang Ao would not have been so decisive in killing Murong Ying if he did not have an illustrious background. With that thought, everyone secretly thought of a possibility regarding Tang Ao's identity. It was the successor of the Tang clan, one of the 6 great clans of the primordial era. Tang Ao was so young, yet he already had such methods. Perhaps only such a prestigious family would be able to nurture such an evildoer. Furthermore, after killing the members of the Murong family, he still had a fearless expression on his face. This further confirmed everyone's guess. In a short time, the news of the Tang clan member killing the Murong clan member spread like wildfire. Soon, it reached the Murong clan and the Tang clan in the north. Murong Jie tore the letter in his hand into pieces. Little bastard from the Tang family, you've gone too far. Mobilize the Murong clan elites near Clear Spring Town and kill him. Master, the matter hasn't been thoroughly investigated yet. Shouldn't we wait for the matter to be thoroughly investigated before taking action? The furious Murong Jie slapped the guard's head. He's already dead. What's the point of investigating? I don't care who he is. He killed my Murong family's people. So he must pay with his life. Pay with his life. In the eyes of this guard, Master Morong had always been amiable. Why did he suddenly fly into a rage? However, the guard who had just been slapped did not dare to meddle. Taking a deep breath, Morong Jie calmed down a little. Which experts of my Morong family are in the vicinity of Clear Spring Town? The guard quickly opened the jade slip and checked the distribution of the Morong clan elites in each region. Replying to my lord, second young master Morong Hua and Mr. Morong Yi are currently in Clear Spring Town, and, without waiting for the guard to finish, Morong Jie waved his hand. There's no need to say anything. Let Hua and Morong Yi go and kill this Tang brat for me. Yes, master. The guard hurriedly passed on the order to Morong Hua and Morong Yi through the sound transmission spell. Chapter 191. Father, should we send someone to investigate? A young man next to Tang Hao asked. There's no need. Although this has happened, only you and I know about it. Even if that old Morong Jie comes looking for us, I can still say that I don't know. Once we investigate, it'll be fine if our Tang family is in the right, but what if that unfilial child uses our Tang family's power to kill that Morong kid? Then it'll be troublesome. Tang Mingyuan nodded and said, Father is right. Tang Hao was very satisfied with his son, who understood everything with just a hint. Although we can't investigate openly, we can go secretly. You can go see for yourself what's going on. All right, then I'll leave immediately. Qingchuan Town wasn't too far from the Tang family's residence. With Tang Mingyuan's speed, he would arrive in less than 3 days. Qingchuan Town was worthy of being the intersection of the 6 countries' official roads. In this world, there is probably no place faster for news to travel than here. It had only been 4 hours since Tang Ao killed Morong Ing and the others, but the news had already spread to the clan of the ancients in the north. However, Tang Ao didn't know any of this. At this moment, he was drinking at a window seat on the 3rd floor of Qingchuan Restaurant. This was his favorite place. Not only could he look at the scenery in the distance, but he could also feel the gentle breeze. In the past, Tang Ao would come here alone to drink, but this time, Tang Ao's table was filled with people. These people were not ordinary people, of course. They were all important people from the Chamber of Commerce nearby. They were the presidents of the Chamber of Commerce. If the presidents were not nearby, then the vice presidents would come. I say, everyone, what business do you have with me? Seeing that these people wanted to say something but were hesitant, Tang Ao really didn't have the mood to drink anymore. The children of the clan of the ancients had always been elusive. Apart from the arrogant Morong family, it was almost impossible to meet people from the other families in the outer sect. For these merchants, it was extremely important to establish a friendship with the Tang family of the clan of the ancients. This was because it was rumored that the Tang family of the clan of the ancients owned 300 herb mountains. The herbs on the mountains were not ordinary goods. Once they established a friendship with the Tang family, it was very likely that they would be able to purchase these herbs from the Tang family and resell them. Their caravans traveled from country to do business, so of course they knew what could be sold for the best price. Just like the sweet lavender grass that could be found everywhere in the East, it could be sold for 1 gold coin in the desolate West. On the other hand, even if one were to sell the sweet-smelling grass for 1 copper coin per stalk in the Eastern region, there would still be people who would say that one was crazy for money. Young Master Tang, we don't have any other intentions. We just want to make friends with young Master Tang. The president of Western Sand Trade Association said as he handed over a gift box. Tang Ao reached out his hand to stop her. We're just friends. Drinking is fine. There's no need for formalities. What are you talking about, young Master Tang? This is a token of my sincerity. President Western Sand said as he stuffed the gift box into Tang Ao's hands. When the other guild leaders saw this, they silently cursed themselves for being stupid and followed suit. For a moment, the gift boxes behind Tang Ao piled up into a small hill. These presidents wanted to gain the favor of Tang Ao, the young master of the Tang family, so they were extremely generous. Among these gifts, almost none of them were ordinary goods. There were even a few that Tang Ao currently lacked. Chapter 192. Everyone was waiting for Tang Ao's words. In their opinion, As long as they got to know Tang Ao, they would have a breakthrough, and things would be much easier to handle later. While Tang Ao was eating and drinking in the Qingchuan restaurant, Luo Cai was also very happy. At this time, Luo Cai had become a big fat sheep in the eyes of the vendors. This person was not only generous, but also easy to fool. No matter which vendor stall Luo Cai went to, the other party would recommend their goods to Luo Cai. Luo Cai was confused by everyone's words. She kept taking out a lot of gold coins from the storage ring and stuffed some things that she didn't know what to buy into the storage ring. At this time, the miscellaneous things in the storage ring had piled up into a hill, but Luo Cai was still buying. Some vendors who were a little further away even came to Luo Cai with their goods from a distance. After some introductions, they tricked Luo Cai into coming to their booth. Luo Cai naturally would not let him down. Looking at such novel and beautiful things, even if she didn't understand what they were for, she would still buy a lot of them. On the street of Qingchuan town, Murong Hua, dressed in fine clothes, walked impatiently. Behind him was a middle-aged man with a gloomy face. "Mr. Yi, did you receive the message from the patriarch just now?" Murong Hua was very upset. He really couldn't think of which blind thing dared to kill the people of the Murong family. Not only did they kill the people of the Murong family, but they also killed his subordinates. Wasn't this a slap to Murong Hua's face? Well, I received it. Murong Yi was not only upset, but also very angry. In the eyes of others, he was so angry because of Murong Ye's death, but in fact he was so angry because of Lu Huzi's death. Like Lu Huzi, he also had a long whisker soul, grass life soul. But unlike Lu Huzi, his long whisker soul, grass life soul was awakened by himself, while Lu Huzi's was given to him by himself. The long beard soul, grass life soul was somewhat different from other life souls. As long as the person who awakened the life soul was alive, they could place a sliver of the life soul into someone else's body. Then, through the host's use of the long beard soul grass, a large amount of pure spiritual energy could be fed back to the person who awakened the life soul. Lu Huzi originally thought that the energy absorbed by the long beard soul grass was used for its growth, but he didn't know that most of the spiritual energy absorbed by the long beard soul grass was fed back to Murong Yi. As for hosts like Lu Huzi, Murong Yi had nurtured a total of 300 people. However, less than 10 of them managed to adapt to the long whisker soul, grass life soul, and survive. However, these 10 people did not disappoint Murong Yi, because these 10 people had helped Murong Yi become a Sea of Souls realm warrior in a short 5 years. The feedback of the long beard soul grass in Lu Huzi's body was also the most spiritual power. Now, such an important chess piece had actually been killed right under his nose. Murong Yi felt an unprecedented humiliation. Sigh, that young lady is quite interesting. When Murong Yi was thinking about how to torture the person who killed Lu Huzi, Murong Hua's feminine voice suddenly came over. Murong Yi looked in the direction of the voice and saw Luo Cai carrying big and small bags in her hands. "Mr. Hua, that little girl is not simple. She's also a warrior at the peak of the 9th level of the origin martial realm like you. It's better not to complicate matters." Chapter 193. The 9th level of the origin martial realm and the Sea of Souls realm seemed to be only a fine line apart, but the difference between them was like heaven and earth. This time, no one knew how many warriors at the peak of the 9th level of the origin martial realm had died in Murong Ye's hands. "Mr. Hua, Murong Ying and Lu Huzi died tragically. Let's go take revenge for them first. Don't cause unnecessary trouble." Murong Yi was rushing to retrieve the long beard soul grass in Lu Huzi's body. How could he be in the mood to waste time with Murong Hua? "How about this? Mr. Yi, help me capture this girl first. Then I'll go back to the inn to have fun, and Mr. Yi can go take revenge for your beloved disciple. How about that?" Although Murong Hua had some tricks up his sleeve, it was still difficult for him to capture a warrior at the same level with his own strength. But for Murong Yi, who was at the Sea of Souls realm, it was a piece of cake. All right, having worked with Murong Hua for so long, Murong Yi naturally knew Murong Hua's character. If he didn't help him capture this girl today, Murong Hua would definitely go to the patriarch and gossip when he returned to the Murong clan. When Luo Tsai was about to look at another stall, the peddler who was leading the way was suddenly kicked away. "Lady, how about going to the inn with me for a drink?" Murong Hua blocked Luo Tsai from behind the peddler. Not interested. Luo Tsai was about to walk away, but Murong Hua clawed at her. Luo Tsai immediately moved. Like a fairy, she flew backward for some distance and slowly landed. However, as soon as Luo Tsai landed, she felt an unprecedented crisis. Just as Luo Tsai was about to dodge, her neck was suddenly slapped by someone. Then Luo Tsai felt her spirit power being sealed, and her strength instantly disappeared. Sealing spirit palm, Luo Tsai was an inner disciple of the Seven Kills sect. After discovering these symptoms, she quickly knew that she was hit by a secret skill called sealing spirit palm. Now that the three Fong brothers were not by her side, and Tang Ao was also not here, she was doomed. After sealing Luo Tsai's spirit power, Murong Yi couldn't wait to rush to the Spring Inn. What a deep relationship between master and disciple. Looking at Murong, Yez hurried back. Murong Hua sighed. In the Clear Spring restaurant, a servant dressed like a servant suddenly ran up to the third floor, looking travel-worn. "Guild leader Western Sands, something bad has happened. The fat sheep has been captured?" "What?" Hearing the servant's words, the other guild leaders were shocked. Looking at their strange expressions, Tang Ao asked curiously, "What's a fat sheep?" Hearing this young Master Tang question, the Western Sand Association's president was the first to explain, "I don't know which faction's young mistress is from, but she's been buying wantonly as soon as she arrived in town. She bought all the goods that I had accumulated for 7 or 8 years." The president of the Tianshui Chamber of Commerce felt the same way and said, "To tell you the truth, the goods I was going to throw away were also bought by her, which reduced my losses greatly." "Who took fat sheep?" President Western Sand asked. "It's a young master with a gloomy face." At this time, Tang Ao realized something. "Does this fat sheep look like this?" Tang Ao hurriedly described Luo Tsai's appearance to the servant. "It's this girl. Young Master Tang knows her." Chapter 194. In the Clear Spring restaurant, Murong Yi looked at the middle-aged man with an ashen face. "I'll ask you again, where are the people from the Murong family?" Looking at the workers who died tragically, the shopkeeper trembled and couldn't speak. Seeing that the shopkeeper didn't speak, Murong Yi raised his hand again. "Sir, please spare me. I think you might have come to the wrong place. The person you are looking for should be in the Clear Spring restaurant, not here." "Ha ha ha, you dog, you actually dare play with me." Earlier, he heard from Murong Hua that he had Murong Ing and Lu Huzi book the third floor of the Clear Spring restaurant. Thinking of this, Murong Yi suddenly realized a problem. Because this Clear Spring restaurant only had 2 floors, why would Murong Hua book the third floor? Is there another Clear Spring restaurant in this town? Murong Yi thought of a more reasonable reason. "Sir, there was originally only one Clear Spring restaurant in this town," the shopkeeper said and wrote the words Clear Spring Restaurant on a piece of paper. "Later on, I saw that the business of the Clear Spring Restaurant was too good, so I changed the name to Clear Spring Restaurant." While speaking, he also wrote the words Clear Spring Restaurant on the paper. At this time, Murong Yi finally understood that he was actually delayed by this bastard. Murong Yi was about to leave when he saw the 3 crooked words on the brush in the shopkeeper's hand. Although the words were a bit blurred due to the passage of time, he could still recognize the words brush like knife. The material used to make this brush was neither gold nor wood. Even with Murong Ye's knowledge, he couldn't recognize what material this brush was made of. "Shopkeeper, this is 10,000 gold coins. I want this brush." Murong Yi usually used spirit stones, so he didn't know when he brought these gold coins with him. Seeing that this brush was quite extraordinary, Murong Yi directly threw all the gold coins he had to the shopkeeper. Then, under the astonished gaze of the shopkeeper, he took the brush from his hand and left with a flick of his sleeve. After Murong Yi left, the shopkeeper looked at the money bag on the counter and didn't know whether to laugh or cry. How could there be 10,000 gold coins in this? Then the shopkeeper opened the money pouch, and a large pile of gold coins immediately poured out, covering the entire counter. There really is. Shopkeeper Zhao's eyes lit up. In the clear spring inn, Luo Tsai was thrown onto a large bed. Looking at Luo Tsai's delicate face, plump breasts, and slender figure, Murong Hua swallowed his saliva. He had seen countless women, but it was the first time he had seen someone as lovely as Luo Tsai. Little beauty, don't worry. Next, I'll let you have a good time. Looking at Luo Tsai's somewhat frightened expression, Murong Hua's eyes shone with evil light. Where should I start? This is really difficult. Looking at Luo Tsai, who was as beautiful as a work of art, Murong Hua didn't know where to start. How about this? I'll pour a cup of wine on you. I'll start from wherever it touches. Murong Hua picked up a glass of wine and splashed it at Luo Tsai. The wine fell precisely on the soft part of the girl's body. Murong Hua was shocked and pounced on Luo Tsai. However, halfway through, Murong Hua found that his vision went black, and then a shoe print was imprinted on Murong Hua's face. Looking at Luo Tsai, who was powerlessly lying on the bed, Tang Ao asked, "Are you okay?" Luo Tsai was wearing light clothes, so when Murong Hua's glass of wine touched her, her clothes immediately became a little transparent and hazy. Seeing that Tang Ao was staring at her, Luo Tsai rolled her eyes at him. Chapter 195. The 7 life spirits behind Tang Ao swept out. The 10,000 ghosts seeking life spirit from the 16th level of heaven hit Murong Hua's 9-strand steel fork. Murong Hua found it unbelievable that Tang Ao, who was only at the 7th level of the origin martial realm, could take his attack. However, he didn't use his full strength just now. Seeing that Tang Ao seemed to have some ability, Murong Hua also became serious. For a playboy like him who liked to drink and flirt, if he didn't have some means and awareness, he naturally wouldn't be able to live to this day. Therefore, after a tentative attack, he prepared to go all out. In an instant, the 11 life spirits behind him attacked Tang Ao together. Facing the 11 life spirits, Tang Ao didn't dare to be careless. The dragon of bloody battle from the 18th level of heaven instantly appeared in his body. Roar! An earth-shattering dragon roar came out of the dragon of bloody battle. Then it moved forward and hit all the 11 life spirits that were flying toward Tang Ao. Good boy, you actually awakened such a life spirit. You really have some skills. Murong Hua was slightly surprised when he saw the dragon of bloody battle, but he wasn't afraid at all. When the dragon of bloody battle rushed to Murong Hua, a tiger-shaped life spirit flew out of Murong Hua's body and hit the dragon of bloody battle. This tiger-shaped life spirit was the Shura blood tiger life spirit, which was as famous as the dragon of bloody battle. For a moment, the dragon and the tiger were fighting, and no one could do anything to the other. However, without the restraint of the bloodbath dragon soul, Murong Hua's 11 life souls swept towards Tang Ao. Luo Tsai was secretly anxious. Although Tang Ao was powerful, he was only at the 7th level of the origin martial realm. His opponent was at the peak of the 9th level of the origin martial realm. Seeing that Tang Ao was at a disadvantage, Luo Tsai became even more anxious. However, at that moment, her spiritual power was sealed, so she couldn't help even if she wanted to. In the face of the 11 life souls, Tang Ao hurriedly controlled a few of his life souls to meet them. However, the quality of Murong Hua's life spirits was similar to his, and the number was nearly double. Therefore, it was very difficult for Tang Ao to deal with it. Hiss! A rattlesnake silver snake life, soul from the 9th firmament, whipped Tang Ao's back when he wasn't paying attention. Tang Ao's back started to bleed, and under this blow, Tang Ao's body shook a little, which was discovered by Murong Hua. "Brat, die for me!" Murong Hua's eyes emitted a ferocious glint as he rushed over with his 9-stringed steel fork. Luo Tsai screamed, but there was no way to help Tang Ao. Luo Tsai blamed herself. If she had not been captured, Tang Ao would not have fallen into such a dangerous situation. Looking at Murong Hua's ferocious attack, Tang Ao found it hard to avoid it. It was possible that after this blow, she and Tang Ao would be separated from each other. Luo Cai was extremely anxious. Murong Hua, as long as I'm lucky enough to escape this time, I'll go back and ask my father to completely eradicate the Murong family. Under such circumstances, she could only support Tang Ao. If someone else had said this, it would have been a joke. However, as the daughter of the Seven Kills sect master and the heir of the Luo family of the remote antiquity, Luo Cai's words carried great weight. However, at that moment, Murong Hua and Tang Ao were fighting at the most dangerous moment, and neither of them heard what she said. Looking at Murong Hua, who was rushing over, Tang Ao sneered. Seeing Tang Ao's sneer, Murong Hua realized that things were not good. Chapter 196. The golden bow in Tang Ao's hand was the sun-shooting divine bow forged by Tang Ao and the Bai clan's master refiner. At this moment, Tang Ao's spiritual power was continuously gathering towards the bow. The sun-shooting arrow soul from the 12th heavenly layer also slowly merged with the sun-shooting divine bow. At this moment, the cold sun-shooting divine bow suddenly seemed to have a life of its own. Murong Hua, who was locked on by the divine bow, felt the aura of death. He wanted to dodge, but the divine bow had completely locked onto him. No matter where he escaped to, he had no doubt that the divine bow's arrow would pierce through him in the next instant. Tang Ao, let me go. I promise I will never be your enemy again. Murong Hua was afraid. Ever since he started cultivating, he had experienced countless life and death trials, but he had never been so afraid. He had never been so close to death. His martial Dao talent was not weak, and he was also the second young master of the Murong clan. He was used to calling the wind and summoning the rain. He was born with wealth and status that many people couldn't obtain in their entire lives. However, he was not satisfied with this. Humans' desires were like rolling snow, endless and more intense. Therefore, he kept cultivating to become stronger and continued to act recklessly. Cultivating to this day, his hands were stained with the blood of countless people. He killed those who should be killed, and those who shouldn't be killed. Wealth, status, fame, women, he had all of them. In this kind of befuddled life, after possessing great power, killing often brought him a sense of reality. At one point, he even believed that he could only prove his existence through endless slaughter. Perhaps it was because he lived under the shadow of his big brother that he formed such a character, or perhaps this was originally a deep-rooted bad habit of humans. At this moment, countless scenes suddenly appeared in Murong Hua's eyes. These scenes were the final struggles of the people who died tragically in his hands. As the 7 streams of light from the 7 kill art converged into an arrow on the divine bow, Tang Ao gradually saw these memory fragments of Murong Hua. At this moment, Tang Ao also had a clearer understanding of the 7 kill art. The reason why the senior who created the 7 kill art of the slaughter created the 7 kill art of the slaughter was not to kill, but to purge the sins left behind by killing. Tang Ao, you can't kill me. I'm the second young master of the Murong family of the primordial era. If you kill me, the Murong family of the primordial era will become your mortal enemy. Only at the last moment of his life did Murong Hua realize how strong his will to live was. In the past, when he saw the expressions of those who were about to die in his hands, Murong Hua was very disdainful. Only at this moment did he understand this indescribable feeling. The divine bow in Tang Ao's hand was pulled wider and wider, and the 7-colored arrow condensed by the 7 kill art was getting sharper and sharper. But Murong Hua still did not give up. Tang Ao, let me go. I can give you anything you want. There's nothing that the Murong family of the primordial era can't give you. Murong Hua, your cultivation is only at the peak of the 9th level of the origin realm, but your hands are full of blood debts. Since you dare to wantonly kill, you should be prepared to pay the debt of blood sooner or later. Hearing Murong Hua's words, Tang Ao was not moved. Not only the innocent people who died tragically in Murong Hua's hands. If Tang Ao came half a step later today, Luo Tsai's ending would also be extremely miserable. Just now, when he used the 7-kill art of the slaughter, Tang Ao saw the scene from Murong Hua's memory fragments. None of the girls who were defiled by Murong Hua in the past survived. Moreover, their deaths were extremely miserable. Chapter 197. Ha! Tang Ao, you are just trash at the 7th level of the origin martial realm, an ordinary person with an ordinary bloodline. What makes you think you can kill me? It has been delayed for so long. It should be over. After Murong Hua finished speaking, his 12 life spirits were rapidly compressed together. Not to mention Luo Tsai, even the reincarnated demon venerable, Tang Ao, had never seen such a method. Even so, Luo Tsai and Tang Ao knew that this move was very powerful. It could be seen from the aura faintly leaking from the top of Murong Hua's head. Once Murong Hua used this move, this area would probably be turned into nothingness in an instant. In this way, although Murong Hua would undoubtedly die, Tang Ao and Luo Tsai would certainly not be able to escape. Tang Ao, we can't let him use this move. This was the center of Qingchuan town. Once Murong Hua compressed his 12 life spirits and self-destructed here, not many residents in this town would be able to survive. Tang Ao naturally understood Luo Tsai's words. However, the 7-colored arrow condensed by the 7-kill slaughtering art had not been condensed yet, so it could not be shot out. Feeling the increasingly powerful and terrifying fluctuations coming from Murong Hua's side, Tang Ao knew that he could not delay any longer. Thinking of this, Tang Ao bit the tip of his tongue and the blood in his body slowly burned. He had already begun to burn his blood essence to speed up the condensation of the 7-colored arrow. If it was only because Murong Hua had killed many innocent people, even if Tang Ao wanted to kill Murong Hua, he would not risk his life like this. Tang Ao could even use the space-piercing snake's power to break through space to escape the instant Murong Hua detonated the 12 life spirits. However, Tang Ao could not leave, because he had promised that he would protect her. Looking at Luo Tsai, who was in a corner with a somewhat frightened expression, Tang Ao smiled at her. At that moment, Luo Tsai's spiritual power was sealed by Murong Xiaojia's spirit-sealing spell. She really wanted to go up and help Tang Ao, but her body was extremely weak, and it was extremely difficult for her to even stand up. Who knew that at this time, Tang Ao would cast a smile at her. As the daughter of the 7-kill sex leader, Luo Tsai had a very good understanding of the 7-kill slaughtering art. Based on the speed at which Tang Ao condensed the 7-colored arrows, Luo Tsai had a deep understanding of the 7-kill slaughter art. Murong Hua's attack of exchanging death for death was something that Tang Ao absolutely could not block. But somehow, when she saw Tang Ao's smile, Luo Tsai felt at ease. Could it be that I'm going to die here today? Has everything become indifferent? Seeing that Tang Ao was still looking at her, Luo Tsai also gave Tang Ao a smile, but Luo Tsai's smile was somewhat bitter. This bitterness was not because his life was about to disappear, but because in his life, a person who could touch his soul had finally appeared. But before she could express her feelings, she had to leave this world. Luo Tsai felt a little regretful. But at this moment, a large patch of Tang Ao's hair instantly turned white at a speed visible to the naked eye, and the 7-colored arrow also let out a crisp, explosive sound. The 7-colored arrow was completed. The bow was drawn like the autumn moon in the sky, and the arrow was shot out like a meteor falling to the ground. A 7-colored arrow wrapped in earth-shattering power instantly pierced through Murong Hua's heart as if it was tearing through space. And on a mixture of the 12 life spirits in front of Murong Hua, there was also a thumb-sized hole. Chapter 198. After Murong Hua died, Murong Hua's soul tablet, which was hung in the Murong family's ancestral shrine, instantly shattered. When the deacon in charge of guarding the soul tablets saw this, his expression changed greatly, as if the sky had collapsed. He hurriedly ran to report to Murong Jie. Master, something bad has happened. Second young master's soul tablet. The deacon did not finish his words. He also saw Murong Jie holding a broken soul tablet with an ashen face. As the master of the Murong family, Murong Jie naturally had the other set of soul tablets in his hands. The deacon knew about this, but he did not expect the master to carry the Murong family's soul tablet with him. Investigate. Murong Jie did not say anything more. At this moment, it was useless to say more. He only wanted to defend the dignity of the Murong family with action. In the deep night, Tang Ao rubbed his fainted head. At this time, he was lying on a comfortable big bed. Looking at the surrounding facilities, Tang Ao knew where he was. This was the Clear Spring Inn. Although not many people came, the environment was quite elegant, so Tang Ao had some influence on this place. Tang Ao was lying on the bed, but Luo Tsai was asleep on the table next to him. After killing Murong Hua this evening, he fainted due to exhaustion. Obviously, Luo Tsai brought him here. Suddenly, Tang Ao realized something. Because Tang Ao was not present when Luo Tsai was captured by Murong Hua, Tang Ao did not know how Luo Tsai was captured by Murong Hua. Tang Ao had already experienced Murong Hua's means, but in Tang Ao's view, Murong Hua should not have the ability to capture Luo Tsai quietly. This meant that Murong Hua had helpers. Thinking of this, Tang Ao hurriedly got up and woke Luo Tsai up. Tsai, wake up. Tang Ao was very anxious in his heart. If Murong Hua really had a helper, they should be able to find this place very soon. Unexpectedly, Luo Tsai said after waking up, "You're so annoying. You slept enough, but you won't let me sleep." As she spoke, she staggered to the big bed. After her spiritual power was sealed, Luo Tsai would easily feel tired. But at this moment, how could he let her sleep here? Tang Ao had a premonition that a dangerous aura was slowly approaching. "Tsai, wake up. You were caught by Murong Hua alone today." Hearing what Tang Ao said, Luo Tsai was immediately unhappy. "Although not as powerful as you, I'm not that bad, right? I was ambushed by Murong Hua and a Sea of Souls realm warrior, which was why I was caught by them." Although she did not want to admit it, after watching the battle between Tang Ao and Murong Hua, Luo Tsai knew that even if Tang Ao's cultivation realm was lower than hers, Tang Ao's strength was already enough to suppress her. When Tang Ao heard this, he thought to himself that it was indeed so. At this moment, although he had recovered the ability to move, the consumption in his body had not completely recovered. Therefore, fighting with a spiritual sea realm elite was simply seeking death. After hesitating for a moment, Tang Ao said with a strange expression, "Tsai, I'll help you remove the spirit sealing spell first." When Luo Tsai heard that Tang Ao could remove the spirit sealing spell, her beautiful big eyes suddenly brightened. "You know how to remove the spirit sealing spell? Great, quickly help me remove it. It's so uncomfortable." Luo Tsai was like a child, holding Tang Ao's arm and swinging it back and forth. Maybe because he was too excited, Tang Ao felt that his arm kept rubbing against the soft parts of Luo Tsai's body, but Luo Tsai did not seem to notice. Chapter 199. I can help you break the spirit sealing curse, but my current cultivation is too low, so I have to remove the curse on your body, Tang Ao said with some embarrassment. He was a man, so it was okay, but Luo Tsai was a girl, so it was a bit embarrassing. Hearing Tang Ao's words, Luo Tsai couldn't help but shiver. The spirit sealing curse was on her body, so she naturally knew where the curse was. If Tang Ao was a girl like her, it wouldn't be a problem because the curse was right on her chest. While Luo Tsai was still hesitating, Tang Ao suddenly said, "Forget it. I'll take you back to the sect. The sect master and the elders should have other ways to help you break the spirit sealing curse." Tang Ao was lying to her. As a reincarnated demon, how could he not know that there was only one way to break the spirit sealing curse? Tang Ao walked towards Luo Tsai, but just after 2 steps, Tang Ao's legs went soft and he collapsed to the ground. In the battle this evening, he burned his own blood essence, and the loss of so much blood essence obviously couldn't be recovered in a few hours. Seeing Tang Ao fall to the ground, Luo Tsai hurriedly helped him up. Then Luo Tsai said firmly, "Help me break the spirit-sealing curse." Although Luo Tsai was ignorant of the world, she was a talented and intelligent person. Thinking of Tang Ao asking how she was caught, and thinking of Murong Hua being killed by Tang Ao, Luo Tsai also realized that she and Tang Ao were in danger. The person who sneak attacked her and sealed her spiritual power this evening was definitely a Sea of Souls realm warrior. Once he found out that Murong Hua was dead, he would obviously come to find trouble with her and Tang Ao. At the moment, Tang Ao had no power to fight again, and his spiritual power was sealed. If Murong Yi, who had sealed his spiritual power, came here, then she and Tang Ao would be dead. Thinking of this, Luo Tsai didn't hesitate and asked Tang Ao to quickly help her break the spirit-sealing curse. Once the spirit-sealing spell was released, she could immediately take Tang Ao away from here. Even if they couldn't escape, they wouldn't fall into a miserable situation where they were at the mercy of others. Tang Ao looked at Luo Tsai with some doubts. Why did this girl suddenly become enlightened? But Tang Ao did not dare to delay. Tang Ao immediately closed his eyes and handed his hand to Luo Tsai. "Junior sister Tsai, put my hand on the seal, and I will break the spirit-sealing spell for you. Don't worry, I can't see anything." A girl's reputation was the most important thing. Although he wasn't a gentleman, he would never take advantage of others. Luo Tsai cursed in her heart after hearing this. "Put your hand on the curse mark? You've already touched it. What do you mean by saying that you didn't see it? Was he trying to avoid responsibility?" Although she thought so, Luo Tsai hurriedly pressed Tang Ao's hand on the seal. Tang Ao instantly held his breath, calmed his mind, and concentrated. Then, a dark inscription appeared on Tang Ao's palm. "Open!" Tang Ao shouted in a low voice. Something in Luo Tsai's body made a ka sound. Obviously, Tang Ao had broken the spirit-sealing curse. After breaking the curse mark, Tang Ao felt that the place where his palm touched was soft and very comfortable. Chapter 200. After recovering her spirit power, Luo Tsai tidied up her clothes and was ready to leave with Tang Ao. But at that moment, Tang Ao frowned. Then, a powerful palm power smashed the door of Tang Ao and Luo Tsai's room into its shavings. Mu Rongya walked in angrily. However, the 2 little mice that were here just a moment ago had disappeared. Mu Rongya felt that it was very strange. In the corner of the room, Tang Ao and Luo Tsai were curled up in the corner of the room. There were 4 array flags surrounding a square, trapping the 2 of them in the square. Seeing Murong Yi looking around in the room, Tang Ao and Luo Tsai were a bit worried. Murong Yi was a 3rd-level Sea of Souls realm warrior after all, and Luo Tsai herself was not sure if her temporary illusion array could fool him. Other than Tang Ao and Luo Tsai, there was another person who was anxious. It was Ouyang Qi Lian, who had been secretly lying on Tang Ao and Luo Tsai's roof. Ouyang Qi Lian came to kill Tang Ao under Ouyang Duan's order. After some investigation, he found out that Tang Ao was resting in this room of the Clear Spring Inn. Therefore, he lay on Tang Ao's roof, waiting for a chance to attack. At that moment, the Scorpion God Knight that Ouyang Duan gave him had turned into a leaf-shaped pattern on his palm. He had grown up with Ouyang Duan. After coming to the 7 Kills Martial School, he had gone out with Ouyang Duan many times, so he had seen Ouyang Duan use the Scorpion God Knight a lot. Now, it was as if this Scorpion God Knight was tailor-made for him. After getting it, he quickly learned how to use it. Hearing the noise in a room under the roof, Ouyang Qi Lian made up his mind and flew into Tang Ao's room through the window. He did not have the patience to wait anymore. Raising the level of a 7th-level Origin Martial Realm warrior had wasted so much of his time. Just as Ouyang Qi-lian flew into the room, a sharp palm wind slashed toward him. Worthy of being the person that Xiaoho Linyuan wants to kill, you do have some skills. With Scorpion God Knight's help, Ouyang Qi-lian's power had also increased to the first level of the Sea of Souls realm. If he had not used Scorpion God's Knight in advance, there was an 80% chance that Murong Ye's palm would have killed him. However, Ouyang Qi-lian was also secretly surprised. Could it be that this little brat Tang Ao also has an artifact that can temporarily improve his cultivation? Why does it feel like Tang Ao's cultivation is higher than mine? Although Tang Ao's cultivation was high, Ouyang Qi-lian was not afraid. On the way here, Ouyang Qi-lian had used Scorpion God's Knight to kill a third-rank, first-rank demon beast, so his confidence had already exploded. On the other hand, Murong Yi, who was facing Ouyang Qi-lian, sneered as he sensed the spiritual power erupting from the Scorpion God's Knight. Murong Yi's expression was very gloomy. Just like the Murong family's unique soul-sealing spell, this Scorpion God's Knight was also a unique treasure of the Tang family. It was said that the Tang family had a total of 4 Scorpion God's Knight, and the person in front of him had such a rare item. This person's status in the Tang family was obviously not high enough. Killing him would make up for the second young master's death. Although the candle in the guest room had been extinguished by Tang Ao, the 4 people in the room were not ordinary people. Even so, they could clearly see each other's movements. After the initial confusion, Ouyang Qi-lian immediately came back to his senses. He had been too anxious. The old man in front of him was not Tang Ao at all. He had the support of Scorpion God's Knight. If he had encountered Tang Ao, he might have been able to turn Tang Ao into minced meat with that punch. Moreover, he had investigated Tang Ao's background. He was only from small town, so how could he have such a high-end secret art? Chapter 201. Ouyang Qi-lian did not want to fight, but Murong Yi was fighting with all his might. From the short exchange just now, Murong Yi was sure that the brat had the power to kill Murong Hua. He also learned from his surviving guards of the Spring Restaurant that it was a brat from the Tang family who killed his beloved disciples, Lu Huzi and Mu Rongying. He also found out that the brat from the Tang family came to the Spring Town with the girl who was kidnapped by Murong Hua. It was possible that the brat from the Tang family and the little girl were partners. After seeing his partner being bullied by Murong Hua, the brat lost his temper and killed Murong Hua. The more Murong Yi thought about it, the more reasonable he felt. His hands moved a bit faster. He was just testing his opponent's strength. Now that he knew, there was no need to hold back. Ouyang Qi-lian looked at the old man's increasing attacks and became anxious. Sir, you've got the wrong person. If you continue to push me, don't blame me for being rude. If the opponent was only an Origin Martial Realm warrior, Ouyang Qi-lian would not waste time and kill him easily. However, the opponent was a 3rd-level Sea of Souls Realm warrior, so Ouyang Qi-lian did not dare to be presumptuous. Murong Yi heard Ouyang Qi-lian ask him to stop, but he did not have any intention of stopping. What? The legendary Scorpion God Knight only has this much power? Or is the person using Scorpion God Knight too useless? Ouyang Qi-lian was furious. Old man, don't be so arrogant. Die. A huge transparent scorpion appeared behind Ouyang Qi-lian, and Ouyang Qi-lian's 11 life spirits were distributed around the scorpion's joints. Oomph. You only have 11 life spirits, and you dare to come out and embarrass yourself. Murong Yi said as 33 life spirits broke out of his body. Seeing this, Ouyang Qi-lian felt a bit guilty. Although he had reached the Sea of Souls realm with the help of Scorpion God Knight, he did not have the corresponding life spirit to use. Run! Without a doubt, Ouyang Qi-lian wanted to steal it, but Murong Yi obviously did not want to let him go. A stealthy black claw from the 19th level of heaven reached out and caught the escaping Ouyang Qi-lian. After being caught by the stealth black claw, Ouyang Qi-lian immediately felt an unprecedented sense of crisis. 8 gleaming steel blades instantly tore through the air and shot towards Ouyang Qi-lian. In the corner of the guest room, Tang Ao sked his lips. Tang Ao was very familiar with this life soul. He had possessed it in his previous life. It was the soul suppression 8 sabers life soul from the 21st firmament. Seeing the 8 soul-subduing blades pierce Ouyang Chilian's body, Tang Ao knew that Ouyang Chilian was dead for sure. Tang Ao hated the fact that he hadn't recovered yet. Otherwise, Tang Ao wouldn't have missed this golden opportunity. Although the soul suppressing 8 blades was powerful, there was a very serious flaw when using it. When using the soul suppressing 8 blades to lock onto the enemy, the user's body could not move. Ouyang Chilian spat out a mouthful of blood. He could feel the life force in his body rapidly fading away. He could not believe that he had died so carelessly. After following Ouyang Duan for so long, he had naturally killed many people from the same sect. However, it was only today that he realized that death was such a painful thing. At this moment, Ouyang Duan's heart was filled with endless hatred. He hated Murong Yi who killed him, hated Tang Ao who was hiding somewhere, hated Ouyang Duan who instigated him, and even hated himself. However, none of this mattered because he was about to die. Before he died, he only wanted to do one thing, and that was to avenge himself. Under Murong Ye's horrified gaze, Scorpion God Knight wiped a bloodstain on Murong Ye's cheek. Following that, a putrid black smoke immediately emitted from Murong Ye's wound. Murong Ye's body was quickly pulled out. When the black smoke filled the room, there was only a pair of tattered clothes left on the floor where Murong Yi was standing. Murong Yi himself had completely disappeared from this world. Chapter 202. Seeing Ouyang Chilian and Murong Hua die together, Luo Tsai let out a sigh of relief. I didn't think Ouyang Chilian would come here, and he's already a Sea of Souls realm warrior. Luo Tsai's beautiful eyes were filled with doubt. Ouyang Chilian was only ranked 12th on the 7 kills sex dragon and phoenix list, but he was so powerful that even Dongswini, who was ranked 1st on the dragon and phoenix list, might not be able to defeat him. Luo Tsai and Tang Ao were hiding in the illusion array, and Ouyang Chilian had already activated Scorpion God Knight. Therefore, Luo Tsai couldn't see anything wrong with Ouyang Chilian. But Tang Ao, who had cultivated the Heaven Eye art, clearly saw that after Scorpion God Knight left Ouyang Chilian's body, his cultivation instantly fell to the 7th level of the Origin Martial Realm. On the ground, Murong Yi had already been corroded into a pile of clothes by Scorpion God Knight. The one who sealed your spirit power is this old man. Yes, looks like he's from the ancient Murong family. It seems like the Murong family has been tyrannical these years. They actually dared to bully me. I must tell my father and grandfather when I return. Luo Tsai thought. This time, I wanted to relax and adjust my state of mind to deal with the top 10 of the Dragon and Phoenix ranking. I didn't expect so many things to happen. Tang Ao laid on the big bed, aching all over. The battle with Murong Hua in the evening still hadn't eased up. Luo Tsai was not happy to hear that. It's rare to have a chance to play with me, but you don't want to. Next time, I'll go with Senior Dongswini. No matter what happens, Senior Dongswini can protect me. Seeing Luo Tsai suddenly angry, Tang Ao was stunned. He was just casually sighing. Why did so many problems arise? Junior Tsai, that's not what I meant. Don't call me Junior Tsai. My cultivation is higher than yours, so you have to call me Senior Tsai. Luo Tsai sat on the corner of the bed and said angrily. In the resting area of the 7 kills sect, Luo Tsai handed a scroll to Tang Ao. Thank you for the gift. This is my thank you gift. Then Luo Tsai waved to Tang Ao and left. The reason why Luo Tsai's mood had become so beautiful was, of course, that Tang Ao had given her more than half of the gifts he had received from the Clear Spring restaurant. Looking at all those strange things, Luo Tsai's mood instantly turned from cloudy to sunny. Looking at the jade slip in his hand, Tang Ao probed it with his soul power. After browsing for a while, Tang Ao's body instantly trembled. This was because the jade slip recorded a martial skill called the 7 Slaughter Divine Way. On the other hand, the seven slaughter technique of the seven slaughter sect was a simplified version of the seven slaughter Saint Tao. The reason why it was simplified was because the seven slaughter art was only formed from a portion of the first volume of the seven slaughter divine way. In Tang Ao's opinion, on this continent, there should be no one who could understand the seven slaughter divine way except for him. This was, of course, not because the seven slaughter divine way was too obscure and difficult to understand, but because the words that recorded the seven slaughter divine way were not the common language of this continent, but the language of the demon race. Tang Ao was the reincarnation of the demon lord, so he was naturally very familiar with this kind of demon race language. With this scroll, Tang Ao returned to his residence in a good mood. He had never thought that the seven slaughter divine way, which was famous in his previous life but had been lost for a long time, would be so easily obtained in this life. Chapter 203. In the Seven Kills martial school, every disciple from the Ouyang clan had two supporters. One was Ouyang Duan, and the other was the dead Ouyang Chilian. Tang Ao, how dare you? How dare you kill someone from the Ouyang clan? Ouyang Duan threw a jade cup on the ground and yelled, "Brother Duan, we have to take revenge. Why don't we report this to the school? Killing people from the same school is a capital offense." Ouyang Ming is right. As long as we report this to the school, Tang Ao will be dead for sure. Even if he was friends with the fifth elder would not be able to protect him. No. You say it like it's easy, but where do we have proof? This is a bit strange. Ouyang Chilian is already at the Sea of Souls realm with the help of Scorpion God Knight, and Tang Ao is at most at the 7th level of the Origin Martial Realm. No matter what he does, he should not be Ouyang Chilian's opponent. While they were talking, a disciple from the Ouyang clan ran in. "Brother Duan, we found Chilian's body. He was killed by Murong clan's soul-suppressing 8-blade. What? It was done by the Murong clan? Ouyang Duan was very confused. Among the 6 clans of the ancients, they all acted on their own on the surface, but they had secretly formed an alliance. He did not know about the other clans, but he knew that the Ouyang clan and the Murong clan had been in an alliance for a long time. Ouyang Chilian joined the 7 Kills martial school at the same time as him, and was always with him when he went out to train. He had never offended any disciple from the Murong clan, so how could he be killed by someone from the Murong clan? Ouyang Chilian also had Scorpion God Knight, which was already at the 1st level of the Sea of Souls realm. Even if he wanted to kill him, it would not be that easy. Where was Chilian killed? Did you find my Scorpion God Knight at the scene? Ouyang Duan did not think too much about Ouyang Chilian's death. Different from the other clans, as long as one was a direct descendant of the Ouyang clan, he or she could inherit the position of the clan leader. Ouyang Chilian was the same as him, a direct descendant of the clan. His death meant one less competitor. Compared to Ouyang Chilian's death, he was more concerned about Scorpion God Knight, which he had lent to Ouyang Chilian. Although those without the bloodline of the Tang clan could not unleash the full power of Scorpion God Knight, it was still a rare treasure. This time, he was worried that Ouyang Chilian was afraid of Tang Ao's 7 slaughter art. That was why he had lent Scorpion God Knight to Ouyang Chilian to boost his courage. He never thought that Ouyang Chilian would be killed by the Murong family out of the blue. The few of us searched the entire Spring Inn, but we couldn't find Big Brother Duan's Scorpion God Knight. It must have been stolen by some thief. Ouyang Duan let out a long sigh. Fine then. This Scorpion God Knight belongs to the Tang clan in the first place. It doesn't matter if it's lost. Big Brother Duan, what about Tang Ao? Now that the arena for the Dragon and Phoenix rankings is right around the corner, I don't have the mood to deal with him. If he was eliminated early, then he would be lucky. If he is unlucky enough to bump into me, I will naturally make him regret being born into this world. In the wooden house that Tang Ao was in, Tang Ao was sitting cross-legged on his stone bed with a joyful expression on his face. The 7 slaughter divine way was indeed extraordinary. With the foundation of the 7 slaughter art, Tang Ao's progress in cultivating the 7 slaughter divine way was godly. In less than half a day, Tang Ao had already comprehended more than half of the 7 slaughter art. As he thought about the upcoming battle for the top 10 ranks of the Dragon and Phoenix rankings, Tang Ao was filled with pride. Chapter 204. It was different from the ranking battle a few days ago. This time, it was a ranking battle for the top 10 of the Dragon and Phoenix rankings. This battle represented the highest standard of the 7 Kills sect's younger generation. Thus, almost everyone from the 7 Kills sect gathered below the stage. For this battle, the top 10 experts of the 7 Kills sect, who were rarely seen, would all go up the stage to fight. Some of the dark horses that emerged from the Dragon and Phoenix rankings this time would also challenge the top 10 famous experts of the Dragon and Phoenix rankings. The 7 Kills sect had a total of 49 experts on the Dragon and Phoenix rankings. There is also a widely acknowledged saying that among the 47 experts on the Dragon and Phoenix rankings, the top 10 were on a different level, while the rest were on a different level. Therefore, everyone was looking forward to seeing an expert ranked below the top 10 on the Dragon and Phoenix leaderboards successfully challenge an expert ranked in the top 10. Although everyone held such expectations for the Dragon and Phoenix rankings every time, hoping for a dark horse to appear and defeat the top 10 experts of the Dragon and Phoenix rankings, the few people with great potential every year would be defeated by the elites of their previous lives. There was only one arena for the Dragon and Phoenix leaderboards' top 10 ranking battles. At this moment, Zhou Dajiang, who was ranked 17th on this year's Dragon and Phoenix leaderboard, challenged Jiang Zhulu, a famous expert on the Dragon and Phoenix leaderboard. Zhou Dajiang was at the 8th level of the Origin Martial Realm. He was one of the top inner sect disciples. Zhou Dajiang summoned 15 life souls and fought in the arena, causing streams of light to overflow and spiritual energy to explode. Every life soul's attacks were sharp. They used their full strength as soon as they went up the stage. Against the top 10 experts of the Dragon and Phoenix rankings, there was no need to test the waters. All they had to do was attack with all their might. Even if they didn't test the waters, it was obvious that the top 10 experts of the Dragon and Phoenix rankings were abnormally strong. Zhou Dajiang attacked with all his might, but Jiang Zhulu seemed like he was taking a stroll. He summoned the fallen star whale life soul from the 10th level of the heaven. Jiang Zhulu looked like he hadn't had enough sleep. He sat on the fallen star whale life soul in boredom. No matter how Zhou Dajiang attacked, he couldn't hit the agile and strange fallen star whale. After a while, Zhou Dajiang was furious. Jiang Zhulu, you are ranked 10th on the Dragon and Phoenix rankings. Don't you dare to fight me fair and square. You only know how to run away like a stray dog. If you have the ability, fight me head on. Jiang Zhulu was stunned when he heard this. He pointed at his nose and said, "You mean you want me to fight directly? In that case, I have no other choice." After Jiang Zhulu said that, the fallen starfall nether whale, which had been dodging, suddenly stopped. Faced with the 15 life souls that were charging at it, the fallen starfall nether whale remained motionless. This senior brother Zhou Dajiang is one of the 4 dark horses this year. Looking at him, it's extremely likely that he'll make into the top 10 of the Dragon and Phoenix rankings. That's right. Senior brother Zhou Dajiang has 2 life souls from the 17th firmament. As for senior brother Jiang Zhulu, it seems like he only has 1 from the 19th firmament, the meteorite nether whale. The rest are all low-level life souls below the 10th firmament. This is the disadvantage of spoiling things through excessive enthusiasm. Senior brother Jiang Zhulu had previously comprehended many low-level life souls when everyone's cultivation levels were low. Now, he's beginning to lose his strength. From the looks of it, he won't be able to hold on to his 10th place on the Dragon and Phoenix leaderboard. Sigh, the top 10 experts of the Dragon and Phoenix rankings are past their prime. What a miserable life. Chapter 205. Below the arena, Tang Ao listened to everyone's comments without saying a word. He really had nothing to say. Putting aside the fact that these body refinement realm disciples had mediocre cultivation levels, they were all more enthusiastic when it came to commenting. It was as though they were the ones speaking on the arena and Jiang Zhulu had already been defeated 100 times. However, how could Tang Ao not tell that Zhou Dajiang had used his full strength in the arena, but Jiang Zhulu had only used less than 30% of his strength? The difference was obvious. However, Zhou Dajiang didn't realize this. He thought that Jiang Zhulu didn't dare fight him because he was afraid of him. Therefore, Zhou Dajiang had always planned on using words to provoke Jiang Zhulu and fight him head-on. It was unknown if Jiang Zhulu was really infuriated by him, or if he found it too boring and wanted to end the battle as soon as possible. He seemed to have the intention to attack. In the arena, Zhou Dajiang's 15 life souls blasted towards Jiang Zhulu with unstoppable might. As for Jiang Zhulio's meteorite nether whale, it remained motionless. Meanwhile, the Grand Elder, who was in charge of saving injured disciples at critical moments and preventing accidents from happening in the top 10 of the Dragon and Phoenix leaderboards, was dozing off in boredom. Seeing that his 15 life souls were less than a meter away from Jiang Zhulu, Zhou Dajiang was ecstatic. At such a close distance, Jiang Zhulu definitely wouldn't be able to dodge. It was as though he could already see the scene of him fighting his way into the top 10 of the Dragon and Phoenix leaderboards. This time, Jiang Zhulu really didn't plan on dodging. It wasn't that he couldn't dodge, but he felt that the battle was just too boring. It was so boring that he wanted to admit defeat, as he happened to be ranked 10th in the top 10 of the Dragon and Phoenix leaderboards. When people challenged the top 10 of the Dragon and Phoenix leaderboards, they would challenge him without a second thought. However, the standards of these challengers were just too poor. Jiang Zhulu couldn't muster any interest in a battle of this level. Jiang Zhulu patted the meteorite nether whale as he looked at the 15 seemingly unstoppable and invulnerable life souls that were getting closer and closer. Go! As soon as Jiang Zhulu said that, the meteorite nether whale charged out like an arrow. The few life souls that bore the brunt were shattered by the meteorite nether whale's destructive force. Following that, it charged toward Zhou Dajiang without losing any momentum. Seeing this scene, the audience was instantly stunned. Heavens, is this the true strength of the top 10 experts on the Dragon and Phoenix rankings? It's just one life soul, but it shattered senior brother Zhou Dajiang's 6 life souls with ease. Too strong. Senior brother Zhou Dajiang, one of the 4 dark horses, was defeated so easily. Speaking of which, who are the 4 dark horses? You don't even know that? Speaking of the 4 great dark horses, this intersect disciple's interest was piqued. He himself wasn't on the Dragon and Phoenix rankings, but when he talked about them, he was beaming with joy as if he was one of them. The 4th of the 4 dark horses is senior brother Zhou Dajiang, who is ranked 17th on this year's Dragon and Phoenix rankings. This is his first time participating in the Dragon and Phoenix rankings, and he charged into the top 20 in one go. This strength is something that everyone can see with their own eyes. Yeah, it's a pity that senior brother Zhou Dajiang seems to have chosen the wrong opponent. Just as this person finished speaking, Zhou Dajiang was sent flying by the meteorite nether whale. However, at that moment, the meteorite nether whale's strength had decreased by 90%. If it had slammed into Zhou Dajiang like before, it was very likely that Zhou Dajiang would have died on the spot. Chapter 206. Seeing Jiang Zhulu gasping for breath. Everyone could not help but heave a sigh of relief. Looks like the top 10 of the Dragon and Phoenix leaderboards are only SOSO. Look at how senior brother Jiang Zhulu is panting, and his spirit energy is fluctuating greatly. He's clearly overexerted. You guys came to 7 kills sect late. Let me tell you, senior brother Jiang Zhulio's move was already his ultimate move. Senior brother Jiang Zhulu should be at the end of his tether now. Anyone who goes up to challenge him will be taking advantage of the situation. That's right. Right now, senior brother Jiang Zhulio's spirit energy is completely exhausted, and he has suffered serious internal injuries. Even if I go up, senior brother Jiang Zhulu might not be my match. Tang Ao glanced at the group of disciples who were speaking as if they were serious and felt speechless. Others could not see it, but Tang Ao could see it clearly. Jiang Zhulu was only panting slightly, because he had forcefully stopped his move. In terms of exhaustion, this was probably just a short while. Jiang Zhulu had already recovered all the spirit energy he had used in the previous battle. Senior brother, you haven't finished talking about the 4 great dark horses. Go on and tell your junior brothers. All right, then I'll continue. The third of the 4 dark horses is senior brother Song Wuji, who is currently in the arena. Song Wuji looked at the crowd in high spirits on the Dragon and Phoenix leaderboards. In the previous Dragon and Phoenix leaderboards, he had only managed to rank 47th, which was the last place on the Dragon and Phoenix leaderboards. But this time, he had charged to rank 15th on the Dragon and Phoenix leaderboards. Not only that, but because he had some fortuitous encounters outside, he had only used 50% of his strength. If he used his full strength, Song Wuji was confident that even Dong Xinyi, who was ranked first on the Dragon and Phoenix leaderboards, might not be his match. At this moment, Song Wuji was so confident that it was frightening. After Song Wuji went up, the first elder in charge of the competition said, "Song Wuji, congratulations on obtaining the right to challenge the top 10 experts on the Dragon and Phoenix leaderboards. If you succeed, you will temporarily obtain that expert's ranking. May I know who you will challenge?" Song Wuji's confidence was frightening, so his words were enough to shock everyone. "The person I'm challenging is none other than the previous Dragon and Phoenix rankings top ranker, Dong Xinyi." The moment Song Wuji's words came out, the surrounding crowd immediately went into an uproar. As expected of senior brother Song Wuji, he actually wants to challenge senior brother Dong Xuanya, who is ranked first on the Dragon and Phoenix rankings. Who is this kid? You have guts. I like it. Is he retarded? He actually dared to challenge senior brother Dong Xuanya. Who cares so much? There's going to be a good show to watch now. When the outer sect disciples who were still discussing the 4 dark horses heard Song Wuji's words, they were all shocked. After a long time, Yuan Chue, who had been introducing the 4 dark horses to the others, lamented, "How sad, how sad. Now that senior martial brother Jiang Zhulu is an arrow at the end of its flight. If senior martial brother Song Wuji were to challenge senior martial brother Jiang Zhulu at this time, he would definitely be able to succeed in one fell swoop. Senior brother Yuan is right. Senior brother Yuan is right. Senior martial brother Song Wuji has been too careless this time." Under the crowd's anticipation, Dong Xinyi, who had always been elusive, slowly walked up to the Dragon and Phoenix leaderboards arena. Chapter 207. As Dong Xuanya rarely appeared in the 7 Kills sect, apart from the top 10 experts on the Dragon and Phoenix leaderboards who would meet him on sect missions, no one else had seen him. Song Wuji had never seen him either. "You're Dong Xuanya, who's ranked first on the Dragon and Phoenix leaderboards?" Song Wuji asked uncertainly. This ordinary-looking person was too different from what he had imagined Dong Xuanya to be. "Yes." Dong Xuanya only said one word. He didn't seem to like talking, and even that was enough to make him feel very uncomfortable. "Dong Xuanya, since you're like this, I'll let you have 3 moves. If you don't have 3 moves, you dash," Dong Xuanya interrupted before Song Wuji could finish. "All right." Dong Xuanya still only said one word. Not only did he dislike talking, but he also disliked listening to others talk. In his opinion, Song Wuji was simply too talkative. Dong Xuanya attacked after saying that. No one saw how he did it, and some of the weaker ones didn't even feel the ripples of spiritual energy on the arena before Dong Xuanya left. On the arena, Song Wuji looked at the blue sky and white clouds with stars in his eyes. At that moment, all the spiritual energy in his body had disappeared, and he didn't have any strength in his limbs. Even he didn't understand what had just happened, let alone others. The only thing he understood was that he had lost. Dong Xuanya hadn't used 3 moves. He'd only used 1 move, and he'd been utterly defeated. Heavens, what happened? Why did senior brother Dong Xuanya leave the arena? Did he admit defeat? What are you saying? Didn't you see that senior brother Song Wuji is already lying on the arena? It's obvious that senior brother Dong Xuanya has already won. Dong Xuanya had come quickly and left quickly. After casually defeating Song Wuji, Dong Xuanya had left. It was possible that he was still hidden in the crowd, but because he was too ordinary, no one had noticed him. How did senior brother Dong Xuanya win? Is there any senior brother who can explain? I don't know. I only saw senior brother Dong Xuanya go up and say a few words to senior brother Song Wuji. Then senior brother Song Wuji collapsed. Did senior brother Dong Xuanya use the legendary verbal cannon? After watching Dong Xinyi and Song Wuji's battle, Tang Ao was slightly shocked. Because he cultivated the Heaven's Eye art, Tang Ao could barely capture Dong Xinya's movements. As soon as Dong Xuanyi finished speaking, he slapped Song Wuji's chest and walked off the stage. After Dong Xuanyi's palm strike, Song Wuji fell to the ground powerlessly. After Song Wuji collapsed, the spiritual energy in his body quickly dissipated into the surrounding air. With Song Wuji's lesson, the remaining challengers all adopted the pick the soft persimmon approach. The next 6 challengers all wanted to challenge Jiang Zhulu. Even though Jiang Zhulu had also unleashed an instant kill technique, they still enthusiastically chose to challenge Jiang Zhulu. Just as Jiang Zhulu was about to go crazy from boredom, an interesting opponent appeared. This person's name was Jia Huatang, and he was ranked 26th in the previous Dragon and Phoenix rankings. This time, he was ranked 13th. Do you see that? This is the second of the 4 dark horses, senior brother Jia Huatang. Senior brother Jia Huatang seems to be quite capable. Even senior brother Jiang Zhulu seems to be getting serious. This should be an evenly matched match. The stage for the top 10 of the Dragon and Phoenix rankings was a special square stage that was 500 meters in length and width. At this moment, Jia Huatang summoned an azure spiritual sea that covered 1/10 of the entire stage. The reason why Jiang Zhulu felt that Jia Huatang was interesting was because the spiritual sea secret technique was his famous technique. He did not expect that after 3 years, someone else had already grasped the spiritual sea secret technique. Chapter 208. Looking at Jia Huatang's spiritual sea secret technique that covered 1/10 of the arena, as well as Jia Huatang's confident look, Jiang Zhulu couldn't help but think of himself when he first mastered the spiritual sea secret technique. Jiang Zhulu couldn't help but think back to when he had first formed his spirit sea secret art. He had the same confidence, and he had also stunned everyone. It was just that he had encountered Dong Xinyi, and his martial Dao heart had suffered a significant blow. Fortunately, the path of martial Dao was all about destruction and reconstruction. After such a long time, not only had his martial heart improved, even his spiritual sea secret technique had reached the greater success stage. Has senior brother Jiang Zhulu been scared silly? Why is he in a daze? It's inevitable. After all, it's his famous technique. It would be strange if he wasn't shocked that someone else had learned it. In that case, senior brother Jia Huatang is likely to succeed. That's hard to say. Senior brother Jiang Zhulu's spiritual sea secret technique has reached this level since a year ago, right? Who cares so much? Let's just watch the show. Below the arena, Tang Ao sighed inwardly at Jia Huatang's spiritual sea secret technique. Some time ago, Jia Huatang and Jia Yun had an inexplicable battle on the Dragon and Phoenix rankings. However, Jia Huatang's spiritual sea secret technique was very modeled, and the area of his spiritual sea was less than half of what it was now. Of course, it was only half a strand of the spiritual sea secret technique. Although the area of Jia Huatang's spiritual sea secret technique had expanded, it had also achieved a good visual impact. However, if it was used in actual combat, this spiritual sea secret technique was slightly inferior to the original. Tang Ao circulated the extreme eye art and observed the 2 people on the arena. Although this was not an evenly matched battle, compared to the previous battles, this one was slightly better. Jia Huatang was very dissatisfied when he saw Jiang Zhulu in a daze. Senior brother Jiang Zhulu, make your move. You and I both cultivate spiritual sea secret techniques. Today is the perfect day to determine who is stronger. It seems that senior brother Jia Huatang has victory in his hands today. I've never seen someone so confident. He will definitely win this battle. Jiang Zhulu came back to his senses from his memories. He thought about his own experience of breaking down and rebuilding. Jiang Zhulu decided to help Jia Huateng this once. After understanding this point, Jiang Zhulio's spiritual power emitted a special fluctuation. Then, the special spiritual power swept in all directions like flowing water. Jiang Zhulio's spiritual sea instantly spread out. Jia Huateng's spiritual sea only occupied 1/10 of the arena, but Jiang Zhulio's spiritual sea instantly covered the entire arena. Under Jia Huateng's astonished gaze, Jia Huateng's spiritual sea instantly disappeared under Jiang Zhulio's spiritual sea like a clay ox entering the sea. The Emperor Penguin life, soul hidden in Jia Huateng's spiritual sea, was instantly crushed into specks of light by Jiang Zhulio's spiritual sea. His spiritual sea and life soul were destroyed at the same time. Jia Huateng was instantly hit by the backlash and flew out of the ring like a kite with a broken string. He didn't even use a single life soul, but he actually crushed his opponent's life soul. Is this the strength of the top 10 rankers on the Dragon and Phoenix rankings? Oh my god, this is too scary. Senior brother Jiang Zhulu looked like he was having a hard time in those matches. Could it be that he was pretending? Chapter 209. I didn't expect 2 of the 4 dark horses to be defeated so quickly. However, the remaining 2 senior brothers will definitely succeed in one fell swoop. Oh, who are the other 2 senior brothers? Don't worry, I'm guessing that these 2 senior brothers will show themselves soon. As soon as this person finished speaking, a middle-aged man who looked to be in his 40s walked onto the stage. The participants of the Dragon and Phoenix ranking tournament were usually youths and youths. This was the first time a middle-aged man was participating. Who is this person? He's still fighting on the Dragon and Phoenix rankings at such an old age? What do you know? To have ambition does not depend on being old. To have no ambition is to live 100 years in vain. But who is this old man? This person seems to have been in the inner sect for a long time, but he entered the inner sect through hard work. His martial arts talent is average, and it seems that he has never participated in the Dragon and Phoenix lists. Below the arena, the ordinary disciples discussed spiritedly. When the experts ranked after the 15th place on the Dragon and Phoenix rankings saw this person, their expressions instantly changed. Over the past few days, this person in the arena had challenged all the experts ranked from the 15th to the 49th place on the Dragon and Phoenix leaderboard, and he had not lost a single one. He didn't know which batch of inner sect disciples this person was from. Logically speaking, with such strength, he should have already displayed extraordinary splendor on the Dragon and Phoenix rankings. However, this person had always been nameless, and almost no one knew of his existence. This is Senior Brother Gormahan, who is ranked second among the 4 dark horses. I've never seen Senior Brother Gormahan before. Have you seen it before? I've never seen him before either. He looks very ordinary. How did he become the second strongest among the 4 dark horses? I think I've seen it before, but I'm not sure. You've seen Brother Gormahan? What did you see him? I used to see a person sweeping the floor at the back of the mountain. He looks like Brother Gormahan, but I don't know if it's him. Gormahan stood in the ring and sighed with emotion. Although he looked like he was only 40 years old, he had been cultivating for 70 years. Unlike ordinary people who awakened their life souls at the age of 10 or even earlier, he only awakened his life soul at the age of 30 and began cultivating. Later, an elder of the 7 Kills sect saw his sincerity and made an exception to accept him into the sect. After entering the sect, relying on his unremitting efforts and luck, he spent another 10 years to be promoted from an outer sect disciple to an inner sect disciple. After he was promoted to an inner court disciple, he cultivated bitterly for another 60 years before he stood on the arena of the Dragon and Phoenix rankings. Moreover, before he stood on this arena, he'd already privately defeated all the experts ranked from the 15th to the 49th on the Dragon and Phoenix rankings. The first elder in charge of the challenge for the top 10 of the Dragon and Phoenix rankings looked at Gormahan in the arena with mixed emotions and felt gratified. He had accepted Gamahin into the sect on a whim. He didn't expect Gormahin, who had disappeared for so many years, to have achieved what he had today. Just when the Grand Elder was about to ask Gamahin which powerhouse on the Dragon and Phoenix leaderboard he wanted a challenge, an ethereal voice came from the Seven Kills sect's main hall. Gamohan, I'm the leader of the Seven Kill Martial School, Yin Tianfeng. You have been training in my school for 100 years, and now you have reached the Sea of Souls realm. I now formally invite you to become the 8th Elder of my Seven Kills sect. Are you willing? Hearing Yin Tianfeng's words, Gamahin sighed inwardly. As expected, he couldn't hide it from the leader. Now that his cultivation had improved greatly, he wanted to suppress his strength and accept the many martial arts geniuses on the Dragon and Phoenix leaderboards to hone his martial arts, but it seemed that he couldn't do it now. This disciple has received 110 years of kindness from the Seven Kills sect. I am willing to become an elder of the Seven Kills sect and make my own contributions to the sect. Chapter 210. When Yin Tianfeng finished speaking, Gamahin's powerful spiritual power at the peak of the 9th floor of Linghai Jing instantly swept out. Then, Gamahin rose from the ground and flew in the air, leaving the ring of the Dragon and Phoenix lists in a flash. Oh my God, an elder-level powerhouse came to compete with us for the Dragon and Phoenix lists. Isn't this clearly bullying? That's not true. I just want to take a look, and Elder Gamahin's name isn't on the Dragon and Phoenix lists. The experts on the Dragon and Phoenix lists who came to watch the challenge for the top 10 of the Dragon and Phoenix lists also sighed. I was quite shocked at first, but now that I know he's an elder-level powerhouse, I feel much better. Elder Gamahin's perseverance is really amazing. He actually hid in the Seven Kills sect's intersect for 100 years before making a move. This kind of mentality is really rare, and when he fought with us, his strength was suppressed to the same level. I don't think we'll be a match for Elder Gamahin, even if we cultivate to the same level as him. That's hard to say. The future is endless, and we will all have our own opportunities in the future. It's hard to say how far we can go. Senior brother is right. Hey, which senior brother was talking to me just now? Looking at the people who were still talking about the Dragon and Phoenix lists, Dongswini quietly left. The future was endless, and everyone would also have their own opportunities in the future. On the path of martial arts, Dongswini himself was not sure how far he could go. After Gamahin's promotion to an elder came to an end, a blind youth walked into the ring. Who is this? This is this year's 4 great dark horses, Senior Brother Ji Gaoi. Senior Brother Ji Gaoi? I thought the 4 great dark horses would be the intersect's public enemy, Tang Ao. In front of Senior Brother Ji Gaoi, Tang Ao is nothing. But Senior Brother Tang Ao is currently ranked 11th on the Dragon and Phoenix lists, while Senior Brother Ji Gaoi is only ranked 12th. That's right. Let's not talk about anything else. Just by looking at the rankings, it's obvious that Senior Brother Tang Ao is stronger. Who does Tang Ao think he is? He can't even last 3 moves against Senior Brother Ji Gaoi. That's right. Senior Brother Ji Gaoi has already reached the realm of temper heart and sever emotion. Among the top 10 experts on the Dragon and Phoenix rankings, there might not be many who can defeat him. Can the top 10 of the Dragon and Phoenix rankings defeat Senior Brother Ji Gaoi? You're overthinking things. Up until now, no one who has fought against Senior Brother Ji Gaoi has left the stage alive. After Ji Gaoi stepped into the ring for the Dragon and Phoenix rankings, the Grand Elder in charge of this competition frowned. I'll tell you again, Ji Gaoi. You're not allowed to kill your fellow disciples. You may have a special technique, but it's best to restrain yourself. I don't want to accidentally injure you when I try to stop you. If you want to fight, then go ahead, said Ji Gaoi with a black cloth tied around his eyes. This kid is quite something. He actually dares to provoke the Grand Elder. I think he's courting death. If he really tries to kill him, then even if the Grand Elder accidentally kills him, he won't be able to reason with anyone. Not far from the Dragon and Phoenix rankings ring, the Seven Kills sect's Grand Elder and the rest of the elders and deacons were gathered on the viewing platform. The new generation excels the old. These juniors are getting more and more amazing. The Grand Elder was also the #1 expert on the Dragon and Phoenix rankings back in the day. These kids became famous at a young age, so they're a little arrogant. The Grand Elder should understand. Sigh, understanding is one thing, but I'm afraid that the Grand Elder will be killed by this kid. That would be too much of a joke. Chapter 211. On the side of the arena, after Ji Gaoi's merciless and provocative words, the first elder laughed. Ji Gaoi, which expert on the Dragon and Phoenix list do you want to challenge? Before Ji Gaoi finished speaking, a young man with sword-like eyebrows, starry eyes, and clothes whiter than snow suddenly jumped onto the arena. Ji Gaoi, by Qiu Shui, ranked 49th on the Dragon and Phoenix list, challenges you. Do you dare to accept the challenge? What's going on? I know a little about it. It's just that I can't bear to say it out loud. Hurry up and say it. It's not like it's some embarrassing scandal. Alas, although it's not a scandal, it's still disgraceful. What are you afraid of? It's not that you're disgraceful. Just say it. All right then, but I've only heard about it from someone else. Brothers, don't take it seriously. Say it, say it. Senior Brother Wong, why do you talk so much nonsense? Okay, then I'll say it. On the side of the arena, when Tang Ao was watching the two people on the arena, someone suddenly patted his shoulder. But when Tang Ao turned around, there was no one behind him. Junior sister Tsai, stop it. In the 7-kill sect, besides you, no one smells so good. Annoying, not fun at all. Luo Tsai rolled her eyes at Tang Ao and said angrily. Tang Ao had the hidden jade body in stone, while Luo Tsai had the heavenly phoenix spirit jade body. Since Tang Ao helped Luo Tsai break the forbidden spirit curse last time, their bodies had undergone some subtle changes. Tang Ao's aura became more restrained and stable, while Luo Tsai's spiritual power became softer, and a refreshing special fragrance appeared on her body. It seemed that only Tang Ao could detect this fragrance, so no matter how Luo Tsai changed her illusions, Tang Ao could find her. In contrast, Luo Tsai seemed to have established a special link with Tang Ao in her heart. Therefore, among the sea of spectating disciples, Luo Tsai found Tang Ao at a glance. However, Luo Tsai herself did not realize how she had discovered Tang Ao. As for the inner disciples, the group of inner disciples who surrounded Wang Shi-san were on the verge of going berserk. Senior Brother Wang Shi-san, do you really know? Of course I know. Then hurry up and tell us. We've been waiting for a long time. Senior Brother, you just won't tell us. Didn't I want to say it just now? It's all because you keep interrupting me. All right then, Senior Martial Brother, tell us what happened between Ji Gaoi and Bai Qiu Shui. All right, I'll tell you about it. Excellent, excellent. Senior Brother, one of the inner sect disciples was just about to urge Wang Shi-san to speak when a disciple with sharp eyes and quick hands hastily covered the disciple's mouth. He was afraid that because of this disciple's influence, Wang Shi-san would have to spend a long time before learning about this matter. Sure enough, when Wang Shi-san saw that everyone was quiet, he immediately cleared his throat and spoke with assurance. It is said that Ji Gaoi and Bai Qiu Shui's sister, Bai Qiuning, were partners. What happened then? The inner disciple immediately realized that he had said something wrong and hurriedly covered his mouth. But Wang Shi-san seemed to have a bad habit. If he did not want to say it, he would not say it no matter what. And once he started talking, no matter what happened, he could not stop. Ji Gaoi and Bai Qiuning are a perfect match, a match made in heaven. When Wang Shi-san said this, he was also envious and disappointed. Chapter 212. I can't believe there's such a thing. Ji Gaoi is really a beast. Bai Qiu Shui challenged Ji Gaoi to avenge his sister. Avenge? That's more like courting death. Although I haven't seen it before, I'm sure all of you are familiar with the name of heart refining and emotion severing. The cold wind rustled, and the jackdaws flew. Bai Qiu Shui drew her sword amidst the discussions of the crowd below the arena. Before he drew his sword, Bai Qiu Shui had at least 10 fatal weaknesses. But after he pulled out the fine steel sword in his hand, those weaknesses instantly disappeared. A sword momentum surged out of Bai Qiushui's body, and a sharp sword aura also scattered around the ring. Some of the weaker people were instantly killed by the sword aura, and some of the weaker people instantly spat out a mouthful of blood. If their opponent was Bai Qiushui, they would be dead by now. After destroying his eyes, Ji Gaoi could feel everything around him more clearly. Feeling Bai Qiushui's awe-inspiring sword qi, Ji Gaoi's expressionless face showed a rare smile. I didn't expect you to cultivate the awe-inspiring sword qi so quickly. Very good, very good. I'm good, but you'll soon be bad. Ji Gaoi die. Bai Qiushui rushed up with his long sword. In the process of Bai Qiushui's charge, 36 sword-shaped life spirits appeared behind him. The last 36 sword-shaped life spirits turned into a white light and disappeared into the fine steel sword in Bai Qiushui's hand. On the viewing platform far away from the ring, the seventh elder asked in disbelief, "Could this be?" "It should be." It was the second elder who spoke. Although the seventh elder didn't say it clearly, with the knowledge of the few present, they naturally recognized at a glance that this was the long-lost 36 awe-inspiring sword qi. This was recognized as the most difficult and the most powerful cultivation method on the entire continent. To cultivate this cultivation method, one needed to awaken 36 sword-type life spirits, and there were many other harsh conditions. In the Seven Kills Sect's Tantra Scroll, there had never been a person who had cultivated such a sword technique for thousands of years. It had been 16,000 years since the last time the 36 extreme righteous sword qi appeared. However, once he mastered this sword technique, he would be able to condense the 36 spirit sword life souls into a life soul equivalent to the 36 heavens. In the history of the Black Tortoise continent, there had never been a possessor of the 36th heaven fate soul. It could also be said that whoever awakened the 36th heaven life spirit would be the strongest person on this continent, the uncrowned king of this continent. Tempering heart, severing emotion versus overwhelming sword qi. Interesting. Although Bai Qiushui was using the Howren sword qi, but the opponent's refining heart, severing emotion sword technique was also not ordinary. Not only was it not an ordinary item, but it was also a sword Dao secret manual that was as famous as the Howren sword qi. It was just that the cultivation method of refining heart, severing emotion was too much of criticism. Therefore, when most people mentioned the refining heart, severing emotions, they would unnaturally belittle the refining heart, severing emotions, thereby elevating the status of the overwhelming sword qi. Over time, through word of mouth, the refining heart, severing emotion, which was originally on par with the Howren sword qi, was said to be inferior to the overwhelming sword qi. When Bai Qiushui's sharp sword light slashed towards Ji Gaoi also drew his sword. Before he drew his sword, Ji Gaoi gave off a cold and lonely feeling. But after he drew his sword, this feeling instantly changed. The cold feeling instantly disappeared, replaced by a bone-chilling coldness. The feeling of loneliness also disappeared in an instant, replaced by a bleak silence. Chapter 213. Bai Qiushui's long sword was indomitable and unstoppable, but such a sword was blocked by Ji Gaoi's smooth and unremarkable sword. Bai Qiushui pulled back the long sword in his hand, and under the radiance of the sword, he attacked Ji Gaoi 7 times in an instant. His wrist shook the sword, and each sword was faster than the last. In the blink of an eye, he had attacked 19 times. The sword swept across, and the sword momentum was wild. 27 swords swept towards Ji Gaoi. In the face of Bai Qiushui's fierce sword momentum, no one could imagine how Ji Gaoi could withstand it. But he did block it. He attacked at an angle that was impossible to imagine, and each sword was just right to block Bai Qiushui's fierce sword edge. But after blocking the sword edge, he immediately stabbed out the next sword, like moving clouds and flowing water, without any delay. His way of using the sword was extremely strange. If they had not seen someone use the sword like this, Most people would not have thought that the sword could be used in this way. The way he used the sword was very awkward, and it was naturally uncomfortable to use the sword like this. But in his hands, it gave people an illusion, as if the sword was used in this way. And the sword could only be used, other uses were wrong. Watching the superb swordsmanship of the two on the arena, Tang Ao's body suddenly trembled, and some beads of sweat appeared on his forehead. Just now, Tang Ao had unknowingly fallen into the sword intent of the two, although such sword intent would not cause much damage to the body. Even for martial artists at their level, this kind of damage was basically negligible. But once one fell into such a sword intent, it would inevitably affect one's future martial arts. This kind of impact varied from person to person. Some people with mediocre martial arts talent might be affected by this, and their future achievements would exceed their expected standards. And some people with good martial arts talent would be subtly affected by this kind of sword intent, and then affect the development of their martial arts. After breaking away from the sword intent of Ji Gaoi and by Qiu Shui, Tang Ao secretly praised the strength of the two. Just now, Tang Ao fell into the sword intent of the two. In the sword intent, the two had already exchanged more than 300 moves, and Bai Qiushui was even about to use the 36 extreme Haoran sword chi. Ji Gaoi was also about to use the cultivating heart, severing emotion sword technique. However, at this moment, the two people on the stage did not move at all. Compared to when they first entered the stage, the only difference was that they had drawn their swords. Tang Ao rejoiced in his heart. Fortunately, he'd retreated in time. Otherwise, once the two of them had utilized the essence of their respective sword techniques, he'd probably have sunk into their sword Dao concepts. Thinking of this, Tang Ao hurriedly looked at Luo Tsai beside him. Luo Tsai's beautiful eyes were no longer as gentle as they used to be. Instead, they were filled with a sharp sword intent, and the spiritual power in her body fluctuated greatly. Tang Ao hurriedly injected his spiritual power into Luo Tsai's body slowly, and the gray light on the hidden jade body in the stone also released a warm spiritual power, driving the somewhat chaotic spiritual power in Luo Tsai's body to operate normally. With the help of Tang Ao's spiritual power, the spiritual sword energy in Luo Tsai's eyes gradually disappeared. When the spiritual sword energy completely disappeared, Luo Tsai's body softened, and she fell into Tang Ao's arms. Feeling the special spiritual power in her body that did not belong to her, but was almost indistinguishable from her own spiritual power, Luo Tsai's pretty face turned red. "You're bullying me again," Luo Tsai said softly. Tang Ao's spiritual power poured into her body and naturally saw everything about her from the inside out. Tang Ao just held Luo Tsai with clear eyes, quietly adjusting the state of his body. It was also very difficult for Tang Ao to break the sword intent of the two people with his own strength. Chapter 214. On the Dueling Platform, by Qiu Shui and Ji Gaoi were like two statues, motionless. Not only that, but many of the people below the stage were also like the two of them, fighting motionlessly. The only difference was that by Qiu Shui and Ji Gaoi had no fluctuations, while the eyes of the people under the platform were constantly erupting with sword chi, and they looked intoxicated. Tang Ao glanced around. Except for the first elder, only a dozen people among the inner disciples of the same generation were not affected by the sword Dao artistic conception of by Qiu Shui and Ji Gaoi. And the top 10 experts of the Dragon and Phoenix list would also be born among these people. The three brothers of the Fong family were sitting together at this time, although there was some sweat on their foreheads. But they were not affected by the sword Dao artistic conception of by Qiu Shui and Ji Gaoi. In fact, with the strength of Luo Tsai and the others, if they fought face to face, they naturally would not fall into the two's sword Dao artistic conception. But at this moment, the people under the platform were not on guard, so they unconsciously fell into the two's sword Dao artistic conception and were unaware. This sword Dao artistic conception was a spiritual technique that was easy to enter but difficult to exit. So once one fell into such an artistic conception, it was very difficult to get out. Just then, on the dueling platform, by Qiu Shui and Ji Gaoi spat out a mouthful of blood at the same time. The sword Dao artistic conception of the two burst out, disappeared in an instant. And the disciples who fell into the two's sword Dao artistic conception all fell to the ground in a mess of spiritual power. Ah, senior brother Ji Gaoi was killed. Oh my God, senior brother Ji Gaoi was so cruel. Senior brother by Qiu Shui died so miserably. Nonsense. I clearly saw the two of them die together. Heaven is really jealous of heroes. But why do I see senior brother Ji Gaoi and senior brother by Qiu Shui still standing on the platform? When they heard this, they all looked at the platform and saw that the two had returned to the original position of the battle, standing with their swords behind their backs. Is this a battle between masters? It ends where it started. Amazing, but I clearly saw senior brother Ji Gaoi kill senior brother by Qiu Shui with a sword, and even the first elder had no time to save him. I saw it too, but it was senior brother by Qiu Shui who killed senior brother Ji Gaoi with a sword. Just then, Ji Gaoi and by Qiu Shui fell heavily to the ground at the same time and passed out. They didn't know the outcome of the match, but Tang Ao and the others could see that Ji Gaoi had won the match. Although the two of them were not in direct contact, the spiritual power on by Qiu Shui's body was not only chaotic, but also very weak. What a pity. If senior brother by Qiu Shui hadn't appeared out of nowhere, senior brother Ji Gaoi might have been able to defeat the top 10 experts on the Dragon and Phoenix rankings. That's right. Looks like this year's Dragon and Phoenix rankings challenge competition has ended here. What a pity. Isn't there still senior brother Tang Ao who hasn't gone on stage yet? Tang Ao? Wasn't he ranked 11th on the Dragon and Phoenix rankings because his cultivation technique countered senior brother Hua Zipping? Right now, he's challenging the top 10 experts on the Dragon and Phoenix rankings. Do you really think that Tang Ao would dare to go up? So that's how it is. I originally thought that Tang Ao had some skills, but I didn't expect him to be such an opportunistic person. Tang Ao and Luo Cai were standing behind this group of disciples. After hearing these people slander Tang Ao, Luo Cai became angry. Luo Cai and Tang Ao had been together for a while, so she knew what Tang Ao was capable of. Therefore, after hearing these people slander Tang Ao, Luo Cai wanted to teach them a lesson. However, Tang Ao hurriedly pulled her back. Cai, I was bitten by a dog while walking on the street. Do I have to bite the dog? Luo Cai laughed after hearing this. What are you going to do? Just think about it and leave? That you're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.